Whoa, R1 TCG is already here. What the heck? How'd you get in here so fast, man? Holy. Alright. I did the wide camera so we could see the table, and all you do is you see more slabs. That's nuts. Alright. Oh, I got a box I got to give to Alexis. Alright. Darn it. Okay. So let's get started. I didn't get time to make a short today. There's just too much to do. I'm surprised we're even starting at 4:10. I mean, that's technically early, but... Hey, what's up, Rigo Rockstar? How's it going? Alright. We'll grab this. Cloudy Alexio, how's it going, guys? Alright. Let's get a title going. It's Nikki. Nikki's back. Hey, how's it going, Nikki? That's Nikki, everybody. Oh my gosh, my computer's freezing. Oh man, the computer's really freezing. What the hell? That's a huge stack. Yeah, these are fresh back from PSA. Dude, my computer's breaking right now. I'm gonna try and close some screens, see if that helps. Oh my gosh. Alright. You guys stay here. I gotta give something to Alexis. She's not here yet, but I got a shipment that I gotta hand off to her. Whose shipment is this? Matthew Hill. Let me walk this out to the basement where she does the shipping. It's a nice basement, but I gotta get all the way out there and give her this box because we can't be missing this one. So let me hand this off. Oh, and Elizabeth Rain's box. I need that too. Here it is. Alright, I'm back. So we have some of this One Piece OP12, but we did not get very much of it. Whew. Now, I don't know where we're going to store all this stuff. Place this here. That's a lot of slabs. We definitely have lots of slabs. All right. Whew. What do I do with all this? I don't know. I'll try putting a row down here. Okay, that's good. Pushing this to the side. What do we got? 9. Ooh, there's a nice 10. Here's a 10, Like and Rock 10. Oh, this slab feels different. Here's an 8, Insane. They gave that an 8. 9. God, dude. They gave out a lot of 9s in this submission. I already saw it. If your card's basically like modern Japanese, you get a 10. If it's not modern Japanese, you get a 9. It's really shit. Here's Jolteon 9. Here's old vintage EV8. They're grading the vintage cards like they're supposed to be as good as a modern card. That's getting regraded. Yeah, I didn't like this submission at all. There were so many 9s. All I could think is like, there's no way that I vetted this submission and got so many 9s. It just doesn't make sense. See this Kangaskhan? There's no way I would have mailed this without looking it over pretty carefully, because I just don't want to get a Kangaskhan 9 back, because it's a big waste. And look at this. Squirtle got a 9. Mewtwo got a 9. That's crazy, dude. Don't worry, Ogerpon got a 10. Radiant Heatran 10. Look at this. Mewtwo got a 9. We got this guy got a 10. That's nice. Here's Ivysaur 9. How crazy is this, huh? Send it all to ABS. Have you thought about posing a video short about the 5,100K sub giveaway might boot instance? Oh, that's true. You know, those kind of videos don't perform very well usually, but it might get a couple people who didn't know about it. Here's Venusaur. He did nice. Look at this, 9. This one got an 8, dude. 8. It's a brand new. This is a fresh slab. It got an 8. Wow. Fresh card, 10. Luckily, the Pikachu got a 10. My God, this is going to be overpriced, because I am not giving up this card without good money for it, because their grading is so harsh. Here's my thoughts on PSA grading. These are not gem mints. They call them gem mints. These are pristines. It's pristine 10 now, guys. They call it gem mint. It's pristine 10. Look, this is an 8. How? How's this an 8? You think I accidentally sent an 8? Yeah, right, dude. You're right. This is a 9. That's fine. So these stickers are wonky. The stickers are actually... Look at this. Aha. Now, I sold one of these to Jen. I immediately got another one. I don't like that they graded it. I like it when it has just A for authentic. I like that better. Here's Oddish 9. Oddish 9. Dark Gloom 8. This is a nice one. Look at this. Vending Venonat. Eevee 9. It's all 9s, dude. Haunter 9. Pikachu 9. How crazy is this? Here's a little Tauros 10. Nuts, dude. Yeah, I'm done with PSA. I'm definitely sending to other companies. PSA will get my poker cards. They'll get my poker cards mostly. Many of these cards here, they'll be sold off to try and make up for the loss. But if it's like a good card, we're just going to resend it to like another company. Just going to go to another company like Tag, CGC, BGS, whatever. Yeah, I'm through with that. I don't like them. I think they're doing pristine 10s. That's their new grade style. It's pristine 10, which is cool and all, but that's not what I liked about PSA. What I liked about PSA is they're generally nicer grading, where they would like let you get away with maybe like a slightly weak 10. That was the whole selling point. Look, we got a 10 on our Poker Charizard. That's important. That's a green deck. Look, 9. 9. More 9s than Mustache Man. Yeah, it's crazy. Rapidash, 9. Here's a little Charmander, 10. They gave my Charizard a 9. He's getting regraded. Maybe he turns into a 9 with another company. This turned into a 9. Now, this might actually be a 9. I could see myself sending in a vintage card that I know is not going to get a 10. But, you know, it's Jumpluff, so I probably would have been a little bit strict with it. There's a little Chonk. Here's a Cleffa 10. 8. An 8 on the Slowpoke. How bad can the Slowpoke be that this deserves an 8? They said this is an 8. What, because it has like a mini white dot on one of these corners? Dude, I have so many cards that look just like that are 10s. This is an 8 now, guys. Look at the horrible off-centering. It's not off-center at all. Yeah, this is crazy. No way, dude. PSA's not getting my cards anymore. Send them somewhere else. If they want to be a pristine grading company, that's fine. They're just not going to get many of my cards anymore. Here it is. That is an 8. That Slowpoke I just showed off is an 8. Here's a modern Japanese card, 8. How? That's an 8 because somebody at PSA thinks it's an 8. Yeah. Can't believe people were like, luckily this guy got 10. I'm telling you, these 10s, I'm not going to be compromising on the price on any of these. Ooh, here's a nice one. Actually, somebody just bought the starters one for me. He should buy this for me so he has a pair. Yeah, that'll be nice. This is an 8. Dragonair 8. Wow, dude. How? That's an 8 now. That's an 8. Look at that horrible centering, everybody. That's an 8. These are pack fresh, by the way. These first edition Rocket cards, pack fresh. You know how I know? Because they were my personal cards that I was preparing to grade during the Rocket time period. And these came directly out of booster packs. These did not come out of folders. 8, 8, 8. Here's a 9 on Dark Golbat. Yeah. PSA just wasted tons of money for me. Tons of them. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. I won't be doing that again. PSA will not get any cards that don't look like they can't get pristine. So I'll only send them pristine cards from here on out. And borderline cards will be sent to other companies. And, yeah. I don't recommend PSA anymore. I recommend CGC, BGS, tag grading maybe. Tag grading is still maybe. I'm still trying to feel them out. But definitely recommend BGS and CGC a lot more now. Place this over here. Did Mr. Dirty. PSA says you send us too many cards. 8, 9s, and 10s. You don't expect every card to get a 10 when you send 200. Well, it's not about the number. You think they decide how many 9s and 8s you get based on the number? That's not how it works. I've had huge submissions come back in really good condition. It's the harshness of the grade that's being applied. That's a good Gengar. Luckily, these poker cards grade well. That's because the poker cards are completely mint. They come out of fresh decks. So poker cards and Japanese modern cards are doing well. Don't waste your time sending your vintage cards to PSA. There's no point. I would buy PSA 10s. So I would go buy a PSA 10, vintage card. But am I going to send them out to grade? No. No way. No way. And you'll see a lot more CGC cards on this table soon because that's the company now, probably. Here we are. Can't believe PSA would give that up. You guys know why BGS lost to PSA? Why did BGS lose to PSA for card grading? They lost to PSA because PSA had the nicer grading. They were more generous with the grades. That's why they lost. And now PSA's giving that up. They're saying, you know what? Let's grade like we're BGS. So not very smart. I don't know whose decision that is. Obviously, it's a guy in a suit who's thinking that this is the next best thing. Like this is the smartest move. Very stupid of them. They had a winning formula already. Why would you change? If you're ahead, why would you change your formula? So they already had the formula. Here's Slowbro, Flareon, Charmander. It won't be a 10 OC. I've been hearing that lowest tier gets poopy grades. I heard Value Plus gets better returns. That's superstition. I'm sure that's not true. Although, if you told me that the new guys grade the Value Plus cards, that would not surprise me. All right, look at that. Very nice. But I don't think that's true. I'm sure they don't allow that kind of bias. That'd be incredibly unprofessional. Tyranitar. Knocked out. Will I bump that? Knocked down. Here's a nice Lugia. Grammar 9. Slow Snorlax 9. Lugia 9. Chansey 9. You think I looked over these cards and I said, oh, these are all going to get 9s. Send them in. No, dude. That's nuts. It's really nuts. So, yeah, PSA, they won't be getting so many cards from me anymore. I'll be significantly reducing PSA grades until I hear about them. Just like I don't send them pack grades so much anymore. I used to grade booster packs with PSA, and then they burned me real bad on a submission, and I just don't do that anymore. It's a waste of money. Yeah, if it's a waste of money, it's a waste of money. That's just how it is. Here's Charmander. Here's Dark Jolteon. Soon enough, one of these other grading companies like CGC or Tag Grading or BGS, they'll offer booster pack grading too, and my booster packs will be sent to them. That's how that'll work. So I don't waste my time with PSA. We are. Here's Squirtle. Look at Blastoise 9. Squirtle 8. They give this an 8, bro. What? How? What part of the Squirtle is an 8? How's this an 8? I'm calling PSA's mom right now. Yeah, call their mom. I need to shout at them. Mom! That's what I was trying to say. The newbies get all the bulk tier submissions, and the higher paid graders get the high tiers. Here we are. So getting a newbie doesn't necessarily mean that they're a harsher grader, and getting a skilled grader doesn't mean that they're going to be nicer to your card. All right, so let's take a look at this card. So this is an 8. An 8. Where are the print lines? Where are the white dots? Where are the scratches? Yeah, this is very stupid. This is one of the harshest grades I've ever received. Even if you found one flaw, that would be a 9. What's giving it an 8? What's the 8? Did they see level 8 on it, like this level 8, and they thought that meant 8? What part of it turned it into an 8? Is it the off-centering? Where's the off-centering? I don't see the off-centering. Doesn't exist. Where are the scratches? Where are the white dots? Where are the frizzled, frazzled edges? I don't see frazzled edges. How did this get an 8? Where's the print line in the hollow? It doesn't exist because it's not there. If I send this exact card off to tag grading, it's going to come back 10 because they're going to grade it properly. That's nuts, dude. No, yeah, PSA grader didn't get laid, mister. He was mad. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't understand how that worked. PSA should reveal how the grades are handed out so that we can see if they're consistent. Because if it's just a guy sitting down in a room deciding your grade for you, that's shit. They need a new system. That's crazy. So, if this was a 9, I would assume there's like some little dink or something or speck that I'm missing, and the grader's just really harsh about the speck. But it's crazy. I don't really see that. And even if there was one speck, that would be a 9, not an 8. So where's the 8 coming from? Not the off-centering. This is an 8 now, guys. Nah, Mike side needs to clip this. This is nuts, dude. No more PSA for me. PSA will get minimal amounts of cards from me. They'll get so PSA will get my poker grades. Is the top off center? It's slightly thinner on the top. That's all I can say. Is that all it takes to get an 8? That's crazy, man. I don't know what to think about that. Anyways, there was a dead pixel in the hollow pattern. Yeah, maybe that's a -1 now. I don't know. That's crazy. That's 2 off center, everybody. I don't know. Here's Psyduck got a 10 by some miracle. This is, what this is to me now? This is pristine Psyduck. This is pristine Psyduck. Okay? That's not Gem Mint Psyduck. That's pristine Psyduck. This guy got an 8. So this guy, they're from the exact same booster packs, by the way. This guy got a 10. This guy got an 8. Wow, crazy. It looks so good. It looks so good. I looked these over myself personally. Not only is this not a 10, it's not a 9 either. This is an 8. Crazy, dude. Now, this one looks a little off center. I can kind of see that. Some of these cards I did expect to get like 9s on. But, okay, let's see. Here's a 9 on this one. Oh, that one's holographic. Wow. I just wanted to grade some Rocket, commons to align with the release of the Rocket set. And so they're here now, but they're all 9s. Insane. Drill everything that didn't get a 10. Now I'm all done with PSA. This was one of the last big PSA submissions I made before we realized about the change in the PSA grading. PSA will get one thing from me in large quantities. They'll get my poker cards. So PSA will get plenty of poker cards. They will not get hardly anything else. Everything else will probably be sent to TAG, CGC, and BGS. BGS will get the perfect-looking cards. PSA won't get the perfect-looking cards. Why would I send PSA the perfect-looking cards when I can go with BGS and have a chance for pristine and black label? So PSA isn't getting the perfect-looking cards. So then there's the, after that, there's the cards that are borderline. Why would I send the borderline cards to PSA all to turn into 8s? I'm not sending the borderline cards to PSA to get 8s. So they're done. The cards are going to CGC, Beckett, and TAG. TAG can do like the maybe the borderline 10s if they have any borderline 10. I don't know what they do with the borderline 10, but will you authenticate with PSA? Yeah, so again, PSA will get my poker cards. I don't think tag grading does poker cards, and I think poker cards look the best in PSA holders anyways. But also, poker's kind of like this new evolving card set that people are not super familiar with. So I think PSA sort of lends over some authenticity to the poker cards. And the poker cards are in such good condition that they often do get 10s. Although, again, it makes you wonder, why not just send them to BGS and try for that black label with the poker cards? But, yeah, PSA, they'll get the poker cards. That's about all they'll get. It's crazy, dude. Tag grading from now on out. There'll be a lot of tag grading on this table. There'll be a lot more CGC grading. So CGC, tag grading will not get my vintage card. See this Mankey card? This will not go to tag grading because similar to whatever PSA is doing right now, tag grading is doing the same thing. They're grading the vintage cards as if they were modern cards. These are not modern cards. They were printed very different. So these will probably go off to CGC to try for CGC Gem Mint 10s. And who knows, maybe better. You never know. They might actually have very different opinions on vintage. But Tag, they grade vintage cards like they're modern cards, and so I don't want to mess with them either. So this will go off to the third one, CGC. They're going to get a lot of vintage from me now. CGC Vintage, it's where it's at. And you know, I'm not scared to buy CGC 10 Vintage either. I got a lot of CGC Vintage that I've purchased and held, and it's gone up in value. So I'm very confident with that one. And PSA is a joke. I don't want this at all. This is crazy to me. This is like really crazy. An 8, not even a 9. They could have just given it a 9. They give it an 8. They're like, nah, bro, your card's shite, dude. Nope. All done with them. BGS is pretty harsh too. BGS is very harsh, and that's why nobody wanted to grade with them. It's because they were very harsh. But here's what's important to understand. With BGS, you have a chance for a perfect grade. So I have a card that looks like it could be perfect. Who do I send it to? PSA? No way, dude. They stop at Gem Mint. So the perfect cards are going to BGS. The borderline cards are going to tag grading and CGC. That's the better strategy. PSA, they can have the weird stuff. They can have stuff that people wouldn't normally trust. Prices on these that just came back, these are going to be pristine prices because I'd rather just hold them, or maybe I'll try to cross them to like BGS. I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a look how clean this freaking Psyduck is. It's really clean. Who knows? Maybe you would get a pristine 10 with BGS. I don't know. But yeah, that's just crazy. 8 on the Squirtle. I bet you a bunch of those are like that. Because again, going back to the idea of the submission, it's not like I didn't look at most of those cards. I looked at most of them. And okay, if you gave me a 9, oh, all right, I missed a flaw. I missed 2 flaws. It's an 8. There's 2 major flaws with this card. That's nuts, dude. I agree, mister. You know what you're talking about with the grading options. I do know what I'm talking about. I'm doing this so long. 6 years. I've graded thousands and thousands and thousands of cards. I'd much rather have this pristine BGS than this Gem Mint PSA. I'd much rather have this guy over here. And then I can get a bunch of 9.5s from Beckett. I bet you a bunch of these PSA 9s that I just got would have been 9.5 with Beckett. I bet you they would have. Because PSA doesn't do 9.5. They do 9. So I'd much rather have the Beckett 9.5. And if I got any Beckett Pristines on Vintage or any Beckett Black Labels at all, huge flip. And then if a card looks clearly borderline, CGC it is. Off to CGC. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the future. That is the future grading now. And that's my perspective on it. You, of course, don't have to agree. But, yeah, that's nuts, dude. I saw the grades already. When they announced the grades, I was talking about it then, too. So I saw the grades, and I knew it was pretty poo-poo. I was like, wow, pretty much just send them poker cards, and that's it. All right, let me throw this away. Oh, I actually got an email from PSA. They want me to give them my cards for consignment. Wow. Did they talk about the consignment rate? They don't talk about the consignment rate. Give me a price chart for the consignment fee. There we go. Mr. can have his own little PSA vault. It's a good thing PSA wasn't my teacher in elementary school. Otherwise, I would have gotten straight Fs. Chance at Black Label with Weiss Poker. Give me that chunky boost. Yeah, actually, you know, when it comes to sending out the poker cards to PSA, I do think having the PSA brand above the card helps sell it. But it would not be such a bad thing to get a Black Label poker card. I got 2 Black Label poker cards. They look amazing. And I bet they sell for so much more, you know? And if the poker cards are in such good condition, maybe I should be thinking that way. All right. So, let's go ahead and set this guy off to the side. That is a Psyduck. He's one of the only cards that graded 10 out of the entire submission of Rocket cards. That Psyduck was one of the only 10s. Absolutely insane to me. I lost so much money there. But you know what was so bad about that? So many of them graded 8. They couldn't even be nice enough to give you a 9. They're like, nah, that's an 8. Your cards are shit. Woo! All right. So, we have to add something to the menu. Here we are. We've got One Piece. So One Piece OP12 is here. And I don't know much about how to price it. What do we normally do on One Piece? I don't even remember what I paid for. I really don't. I only have 2 cases of it because we're waiting for another guy to get us 3 more cases. Let's see, OP12. This whole stream's going to be One Piece until I sell out. There's only 2 cases, so we'll be sold out in a heartbeat. Let's go. Psyduck reigns supreme. All right, let's see about this. Do, 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 do. Oh, it's kind of a pricier set. So is this one really popular? I'm surprised. This one's a bit pricier than usual. How much for one case? At the moment, we only have 2 cases, so we're not selling them at the case price. I mean, you could certainly buy them as a case, but you might not want to. How many boxes are in a case again? I don't remember. Is it 12? And how many packs in a box? Let's just see. How to order? Yep, 24 packs in a case. Is that right? Divided by 24. Okay, so I've got a price here, and let's jump right over here. So OP11 is $4, $96 a box. Right now, we're going to do the same thing, okay? So OP12 will be $4 a pack, $96 a box. There it is. We're waiting for more of it to show up. We only have two cases of it right now. These are like the early ones, basically. Okay. This one has the jewelry Bonnie Manga. Bonnie Manga? Weiss Pixar box. Ooh, somebody bought a Weiss Pixar box. Do I have one sitting around? I don't. Okay, guys, if you'll give me a moment, I got to go get a fresh box of Weiss Pixar. In the meantime, what do we do about this? So I'm supposed to price this up. Guess I'll price it up. I don't know. How do I buy stuff? Yeah, you're too young to buy stuff. Your parents can buy stuff, but you're too young. Can't be buying stuff. You're going to get me in trouble with your parents. All right, let's see. Oops. Let's see. So he'll be $25. Don't rush to buy them all at once now. Wow, that basically just covers grading. Wow, that is so bad. That's crazy. It's crazy to think about because almost all of them graded that way. It's just a straight loss. It's a humongous loss. Okay, there we go. Now, Hunter Tipton wants a Weiss Pixar box. I'll go get that now. All right. Ta-da! There it goes. All right. Speaking of which, let me jump in here. Okay. Grab this, grabbing this, and clicking on this. There we go. So, give me a moment here. Did we ping the Discord? I realize Alex isn't here. If Alex isn't here, we might not have pinged the Discord. Let me make sure the Discord is pinged. Okay. Oh, we did not ping the Discord. Add here. We are live. Okay, there it goes. Lovely. And what I need to do is I need to go into eBay and actually cancel 2 of these items. Each time we order these, I have to reduce the count on them so we don't have an accident where I have too many of these listed for sale on eBay. Alex is here. What? There we go. And there we go. And there we go. This is the menu music for Sonic Adventure on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Really? Alright, so that's updated, and now we're ready to open this up for our friend Hunter Tipton. These are $62 a box, so they're very popular right now. Pixar. There's some really high-end cards you can pull out of these, by the way. By the way, do you guys remember the Steamboat Willie? Remember how crazy that time period was? Where the cases were like way too expensive. The packs were super expensive. And the Steamboat Willie went for like $3,000-$4,000. All that's price corrected now. The boxes are cheaper, the cases are cheaper, and the Steamboat Willie's like 1.5 or something. There we go. All right. Grab that. Oops. Very good. Well, shucks. That's right. Snipping this. And snipping this. Steamboat Willie is expensive now. But he used to sell for like $4,000, and now he's down to like like $1,600. It's really low. There we go. And that is why I never bought them. Never bought them, never broke them. Because I had a feeling something like that could happen with the Disney card. Okay. Kind of, it used to be 4K. Yeah, it used to be like $4,000. People wanted that card so bad too. It's crazy. But they obviously printed it into oblivion. That had to have been what happened. That or like people just got bored of it. And they realized, wait a second, I want money. I want money. I don't want this Mickey Mouse card. There we are. Okay. Mr. Ant-Man. There's Jessie. I think her name's Jessie, isn't it? The pig. Oh, Stamp. The Good Dinosaur. Ooh. Very nice. Not to be confused with the Bad Dinosaur. Only Metazoo cards go up. That's right. I just can't believe how bad that submission graded. I'm really shocked by that. Here's Finding Nemo. Even modern Japanese cards were getting like 8s in that submission, and they look fine. Whoever was grading that obviously had tougher rules in their mind for what constitutes an 8 or a 9. That or PSA changed their rubric and everyone's just following the rubric. But whatever the case is, it's the new grade's pristine 10. They don't have a Gem Mint 10. Their Gem Mint 10s are probably their 9. I don't know why they would do that when they have a monopoly on grading. You know, it's like a way to make me not want to grade with you. So weird. All right. Very good. Can you help me find the new Overlord set? Nah, dude was on something. I was thinking on sending some vintage to PSA. Should I send it elsewhere? You can still send it to PSA, but I have to say this. If the card doesn't look pristine, don't waste your money. Send it to CGC. If it doesn't look pristine, send it to CGC. That's what I would say at this point. Much better to have a CGC 10 than a PSA 9. PSA, this is part of the harshness of PSA. So PSA also doesn't have a 9.5. So they have no 9.5. So you just lose all your money sending your card to PSA and having it turned into a PSA 9. That's what happens. It's, you know, it's just not good. Ta-da, Hunter Tipton. Yeah, I'm all done with them. They won't receive, well, they will receive large orders from me, but large orders of poker cards probably. That's about it. You might have something similar. You send in like Karuta cards, Koro Karuta, something weird, you know. I'll still send weird cards to PSA. Also, maybe like error cards. If I think the error card will get an actual, you know, whatever they call that. What do they call that? All right. I've seen PSA 8.5s. Yeah, PSA is weird. They have an 8.5, but they do not have a 9.5. They don't have a 9.5. All right. So, here we are. So we've got this PSA 8 Squirtle. I got to see what a 10 goes for to decide if I want to crack him or if I want to sell him as is. Selling him as is an attempt to recoup some of the losses. Let's try CGC 10 Squirtle Classic Japanese. Ooh, you can hear all the boats outside. People are having fun. It's that summertime, you know. Well, he's only $25 as a CGC 10. He's not really that expensive of a card. I feel like he doesn't warrant a potential regrade because it's not expensive enough. I feel like I would be interested in doing it just for the virtue of doing it, though, you know. Just to prove a point. Yeah, let's try to prove that point. Let's see what it... I want to see what it goes for with tag grading. So this is just to prove a point. This is an experiment. If tag grading finds a very similar grade, very similar flaw, that's fine. So then maybe it was me, you know. But I have to see at least. Somebody has to do this. Might as well be me. We can document it along the way. All right. Give out 10s easily and you'll take away prestige. Make it too hard and people won't bother sending. It's, you know, I think it's just about consistency. That's all. It's just about consistency. This isn't the new plastic, is it? The encapsulation job's really strong on these. Oh, you basically had to break the corner there. Yeah, the encapsulation job on this particular slab's really strong. Okay, there it is. Okay, just checking this side one more time. Looks good. There it goes. All right, there it goes. All right. Maybe tag the way to go. Removing the human element helps. You never know, actually. I want to know how PSA is grading their cards. Okay. Can I hire you to crack my BGS slabs? Yeah, maybe. Oops, I just dropped it. Ugh. Now it's a tag 1. Let me get this over here. There's an inherent risk to it, and it makes your hands tired, and you can get plastic in your eyeballs, so it's not exactly something I'd like to do just for the whim of it. Okay. I think it's really important that PSA start doing a grading report. I think they have to. I think they basically have to do a grading report. Ready? So, next card. Let's see. Next card is this one right here. So, remember, this just came back from one of the harshest PSA gradings that I've ever had. This Flareon from Brilliant Stars. So, he's definitely a nice 10, okay? He's not like a weak 10. I would say probably all the 10s in this submission, I'm going to think of them like strong 10s, okay? Flareon TG01. I got to decide if I want to turn this one into a... Oh, okay, here we go. So the cheapest one's $108. I can see it was graded after 101. So I'm going to accept that price, that lowest buy now price. But, you know, let's say I had to compare this card to like a card with the certification number under 1 million or whatever that is. That's not 1 million. That's much higher than 1 million. But if it was like in the 9s, the certification number, I would probably look for one that has a similar certification at that point. So this is 108. That's another thing. So when I go shopping for PSA cards, I know anything above a certain certification number is now graded like a pristine. So I'm thinking of those a little differently when I go shopping. Like if I can get those at a nice price, great. If they cost a little more than a lower certification, like this is a lower certification number right here, right? So if this is the same price, let's say these are the exact same card, but this one has this cert and this one has that cert. I'm buying this one first, unless this one is way, way more expensive. And then I'll go, maybe, you know what I mean? Because I realized there's a value to the higher cert. PSA had a dramatic change. Here's Luke Laurie, 2 destined rivals, 1 solo leveling, last slab away. 2 destined rivals. Okay. There we go. 1 solo leveling. Okay. Here's solo leveling. Is that right? Am I reading that right? 1 solo leveling? And then the rest for slab away. Let me take a quick look at that. Luke Laurie. You had $125 left on it, and it was Deoxys Golbat. Nice, dude. Congratulations, Mr. Luke. Yeah, it's cool that you're doing the slabs. I think that sometimes just buying slabs is the best way to collect, because you're getting a card that's encapsulated, it's authenticated, it's been verified to have a high grade. Yeah, I just collect really expensive slabs all the time. That's what I do. Here we are. Luke Laurie. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm all in on graded cards. So that's all done. And now let's get these open. Ta-da! Does anyone buy Journey Together anymore, or does no one care about it now? If no one cares about it, that could suggest that it's at a price point where it's not going to get much better than where it's at. And you might just enjoy some now. That's the trick to Pokemon. Sometimes you have to go against your intuition and open what no one else cares about. And then later on, people go, all right, I'm bored of the thing I'm with now. How about that old set that I miss? Oh, yeah, Journey Together. Remember that set? Oh, I want to open some of that now. And then you go back, and it's like, now it's way more expensive because the demand jumps later. You know, the demand jumps later. So you have to look at, like, does this set fundamentally have really good pulls in it? Yes, it does. It definitely does. The Wailord, the Articuno. There's Lily. There's... who's that other girl? Iona. There's Iona. There's Lily. Yeah, it's a solid set. It's a really solid set. Here we go. I like Journey Together, so I'll be holding a little chunk of that. Not as much as I'll be holding Destined Rivals. I love Destined Rivals. People are camping out in the heat. People are camping out in 100-degree weather to get Destined Rivals. Is that right? That's nuts. All right, here we go. So we already know this card is a lost cause. There's no point to... there's no point to this card trying to get it upgraded, because the cost of regrading it will undo any potential profits and still leave us with the risk of it grading 9. So one thing you have to remember with all this complaining I'm doing, some of these 9s are certainly deserved. Some of the cards definitely deserve a 9. Maybe some of them deserve an 8. But some of them also will be borderline cards where they said, this is a 9, and I disagree with that and think I'll do 10 with another company. So I can't really afford to crack these cheaper ones. These were such nice cards. I can't believe they graded so bad. All right. War Turtle. All right. As a 9, it's a $20 card. We'll do 19. Crazy. None of them deserved an upcharge, so PSA poo-pooed on you. Oh my god. Mark Valerian, can I get 5 Pokemon Heatwave Arena and 1 Minecraft Hobby Pack? Yes, certainly. Let's go get that. I think that just, you know, getting this feedback from their grading style has given me new direction on how I want to grade cards. And it makes me kind of annoyed because I want PSA to do well. I like PSA. I have a lot of PSA slabs. I want to see them do really well. And I feel like if I was in charge, I would not have made this major change to make the grading super strict. I would not have done that. I'd have been like, don't change anything. We've already got the secret Krabby Patty formula. Don't touch it. Just let it keep running. Here it is. All right. You know what I would have done instead of making the grade harsher? I would have done what Tag was doing. I would have added the grading review. How about that, PSA? Add the grading reviews in. Those are actually really useful. So if I was PSA, I would have invented like cheap grading review. Maybe add a grading review per card, $2 per card or something like that. You know what I mean? Turn it into a little scannable thing on the back of the label. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what I would have done. I wouldn't have made the grading harsher because people already knew what the grading rubric was and they chose PSA with that rubric. All right. No chicken jockeys. Sorry. I know it's highly unlikely, but I wonder if you've been getting the same grader. Here's why you should just grade with asthma grading. Greed brings me entertainment. Sent for the War Turtle slab. Yes, you're going to see a lot of cards just like this. Affordable, beautiful cards that are PSA 9 and PSA 8. They're still fun. It's just a pity. It's a really big pity. All right, here's Mag Cargo. They should charge a price for an automatic pen. Oh my! Oh, look at that, Mabo Stiff. All right, he's very stiff. He's Mabo Stiff. Very nice. Now I just need the Blastoise to complete it. I do have a Blastoise that graded 9, so if you wish, I can price that for you and hold it until we find. I don't know where it's at. It's in this gigantic pile of slabs now. Obviously, we just got a gigantic slab return, so we have quite a few slabs now, guys. But I can, I can reserve that Blastoise for you because we got the PSA 9 Blastoise, and I'll just do the same deal, cheapest buy now. Did you hear about PSA possibly starting to offer card cleaning services? That's really fascinating. Maybe what that suggests is PSA knows that you can remove something like thumbprints, fingerprints from a card, which I believe is a major problem for many cards. Fingerprints. Can't have fingerprints on your card. Or maybe they find like some other smudgery, I don't know. I've not heard that rumor though. Camera almost looks like it needs to be cleaned. All right, let's get another one of these up on the table. Hey, this one actually got a 10. So here's a Hypno 10 from that classic collection. Again, these are very harsh 10s, so buy them with confidence if you decide to. All right. This is going to say PSA 10 Classic Hypno. All right. Now, this is Hypno. He's generally not the most expensive card. Oh, this one might be expensive. What are they calling this? This is Hypno 12 Classic Collection. Let me see if I can find one that's sold, because he appears to be expensive. Let's go with ended recently. Okay. So it looks like I could probably offer him around $45. Okay. I hear they watch the stream and give the grades before you even send them. They sent a survey out to people's email asking if you'd be interested if they started that service and the pricing it might be at. Oh, really? I just got an email for them telling me that they do consignment and that they would like to sell my cards for me. Yes. I think that consignment's really... it's a great business. So if you guys wanted to make money, I'm not so sure that there's a lot of room for like more rip and shippers because there's so many rip and shippers. The margins are tighter than ever. You have to be like really clever, kind of planted, like rooted. And I mean, anyone can do anything they want. So you might be able to start up a rip and ship tomorrow and do really well. Who knows? But here's something that I think is still underserviced. Helping people liquidate their cards is like a job that I think is really a big deal. And I don't think there's enough people doing that, which is why PSA is getting into that. Yeah, I mean, so middlemaning's been figured out. Rip and ship's been figured out. Consignment, though. Consignment's interesting. It would be interesting to find people who are really good at getting cards consigned without using eBay. You know what I mean? Because eBay takes so much. There it is. Well, and that's kind of what we've been doing. I've been getting into consignment. You guys can send cards into me, and I'll sell your cards right here on the table. You keep 73%, no taxes, no eBay fee, and I sell at the buy now price, not the auction price. You know, auction price sometimes is really bad. It depends on what card you have. Like, you got like a PSA 8 Charizard, and you put that into auction, it might actually perform pretty badly in auction. So you can put it up here for buy now price, and you can even tell me to lower it or raise it, whatever you want. Yeah, so we do that here on the table. Victor Kokiko, he says 5 packs of DR. You got it, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I just rotate that Hypno off? I shouldn't have rotated him away. He just got priced. Hypno deserves to be in the front. There it is. Fresh Hypno. I hear they watch the stream and get a raise. Oh, I already read that. Mr. Victor, what's up, man? How's it going? Happy, what's the day? Friday? Happy Friday daytime stream, everybody. I hope you guys are ready for some fun things to happen. Like, for example, drilling lots of cards. Whoa, we're at 103 viewers. What are our likes at? Oops. Now, you guys know I'm going to check the likes every stream, so you got to help me out. Likes are at 28. Wow, that's like 1/4 of all the people watching. We got to get it to at least 50%. Hit that like button for me, guys. 1/4 is low. There it is. You know I'm going to check. All right, Mr. Victor. We got Persian. You know what we need to do? We need to have it set up so that if we hit like 60% likes without me asking, there's like an automatic giveaway triggered or something like that. You know what I mean? No. Every time I come up with that idea, which I'm pretty sure is the same idea everybody's got, you know, I feel like I'm just training you guys to click like for free stuff. It's not a good relationship. I'll still do lots of free stuff. We'll have lots of free stuff, but let's not make it like, oh, you've got to pay me with likes or something like that. That's not good. That's not good. Here we go. Poké Rev would have more likes. No, he's better than me. Here you go, Mr. Victor. Thank you. Victor, you should have a bag up here, shouldn't you? Do we need to make you a new bag, Victor? Yeah, we need to make you a new bag. I'll never be as good as Poké Rev. Should hit the like regardless. Whether it's not for free stuffs, it will boost you in the algorithm. Would you guys like it if I displayed like vintage booster packs on the table that are actually not supposed to be open? I'm supposed to be keeping them for investment. And you guys can pay a donation to force it to get open for your entertainment. Or do you think that's a really stupid idea? Because sometimes I think that's a smart idea, and then sometimes I go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But what if you guys could, like, force me to... Let's say, for example, I have, like, a Rocky Returns booster pack, and you could pay $2 and force me to open it. That's not so bad, right? So maybe it's just about, like, balancing it. But see, I would rather keep it sealed because it's a great investment. So that booster pack sealed does really well. Pretty dumb. Here's Dark Ride. Look at that. Okay. Unless we can do it, unless we can own it, at least you don't scream uncontrollably like Poké Rev. Ah! Here's Blooper. Here's Finn and Jake. I think the reason that idea pops up in my mind is because I wouldn't mind opening up more entertaining packs for you guys to watch, but it's like I'm financially punished if I do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, for example, the scenario I gave you, the Rocket Returns pack, is much better off sealed. It is. So I'm trying to figure out a solution to that. All right. What's up, everyone? I'm Poké Rev, and today I'm opening all the Pokemon packs you can afford. He screams on his videos a lot. Does he really? Mark says, for the War Turtle Slab. Here you go, Mr. Mark. Oops. Is it, nope. It's not June 1st yet. I might have to take out a whole chunk of slabs from underneath the table and just put them somewhere where, like, they can just sit and wait their turn to rotate. We have too many slabs now. Shambles says, can you provide advice on why my generation is having difficulty propelling themselves to where they should be? Most people buying houses are old. Yeah, let me ask ChatGPT the average age of buying a home now. Average age of first-time home buyers in the United States. Let's see this. You ready? This is the new Google search bar for me now. It's ChatGPT. It's really crazy that it replaced it, you know. It was taking a long time. As of 2024, average age is 38 years old, up from 35 in 2023. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's just homes got too expensive. I think one of the biggest reasons houses got too expensive is because people treat the houses like investment and rather than just like a thing you need to live inside of. So since homes are an investment and like a way to protect your money from inflation, because the government is doing all this inflation, you know, you got all these rich mother effers buying houses when they should be buying gold, they should be buying stocks. They're going, no, I don't want to own stocks. I want to own houses because they're made out of lumber, they're made out of labor, they're made out of steel and copper and intelligence. And so they want to plant their money somewhere to protect it from a gambling-like stock market. They don't know if the stock market is going to do well because they don't know if there's going to be some major crash from all the money printing. So they're buying up all the houses, and that's not your fault, but they are. And then after all that happens, the market gets too hot. So what does the Federal Reserve do? They raise interest rates so that the rich people stop buying houses. So now you can't get a cheap loan to buy a house, and all the prices are driven up anyways. And everyone's looking at them going way, way, way up, going, oh my God, I need to own one of those. Those go up in price. So yeah, it's just this really shit situation. For young people right now, 2025, I would recommend find cheap rent. Don't buy a house. That's why it sounds really stupid, but think about it. If the interest rate is 7% and the traditional return in the stock market is 7%, that means you'd be better off renting your grandma's basement and buying stock. And you could talk about like leveraging and all that stuff. Leveraging is only good if the house continues to rise. But at an interest rate of 7%, all the rich guys who are very smart financially are looking at houses and they're going, this is not such a great investment anymore. There's too many landlords because everyone's already got a cheap home at 4%, 3%. So there's too many landlords to compete with rent and interest rates are really high. So if I wanted to buy another house and I have to borrow money for it, I'd have to borrow at 7% now. And all the houses got pushed up in price. So you're at the top of the market and it could take a long time. It could either take a correction or it could just take a long sideways before it starts to jump again. So, I mean, what could happen though, you know, it's all crystal ball stuff. So when I say I wouldn't buy a house right now, that's all crystal ball stuff. So I don't know the truth of what'll happen next. Like maybe the Federal Reserve will be forced to suddenly lower the interest rates. And if that happens, house prices will start to go up again. But don't forget, you know, there's a lot of construction companies printing houses just like Pokemon prints Pokemon cards too. And at some point, there's too many landlords and not enough renters. So it's a complicated equation. But the way I look at the stock market or the real estate market right now is that it's kind of overbought and it's overpriced and the cost of borrowing money too high. So if I was young, I just wouldn't buy a house. I would rent. And that sounds really crappy, but that it's not necessarily crappy. It might actually be a better deal than actually trying to buy a home in such a bad market. So you should have bought a house, I don't know, 6 years ago. That would have been very good. Now it's today, and I don't think it's such a good market. I think it's kind of an overpriced, overbought, too many landlords trying to make rent, and too much interest on the money kind of market. So there you go. That's my assessment of the real estate market. Okay, so Mark is done. Eric Rodriguez, PSA Hypno. You got it, man. Hoping I could buy in the next 3 to 4 years. I own 3 homes. I own 2 big lake houses and a small home. And I have experience renting and I have experience taking care of those homes. It's awful. It's awful. It's much worse than you think it is. You don't really own the home. The bank owns it. And you pay the bank rent. You're renting it from the bank at 7%. Or, you know, in our case, 4-point-something%. I don't know. 2 of the houses are lower. But you're renting the house. And so if you have like a $500,000 loan on the house, and every year you're paying 4.5% on $500,000, let me tell you how much money that is. So you just pull out a calculator, 500,000 times 0.045. I'm losing $22,000 a year on that house. That house has to go up in price by $22,000 a year just to break even with all the interest I'm paying on that loan, just to break even. So for it to make money, in appreciation, that is, it has to go above 4.5. It has to go up in value by like 6 or 7% just to go above it. So no, it's not that great. And then your air conditioning unit breaks, and that's $10,000. And then your house floods, and that's $2,000 or $3,000. And so it's a money trap. It's a money trap. It's actually not a good investment. You think a home is strictly an investment? No, it's actually a luxury and it's a cost. Much better to live in a tent if you can and put all that money in the stock market right away. Stock market, crypto, Pokemon cards, whatever you think is best. But I happen to think Pokemons are best because I'm very good at them. But yeah, put your money into a real investment. Think about what a stock does. You buy a piece of the company, and then the company pays you for owning a piece of that company. Very different from a house. A house is only productive if you can manage to rent it out. Well, now you're competing with everyone who owns 2 homes, 3 homes. You're competing with the corporation. You're competing with the property manager. They all want to rent because they just all bought a bunch of homes on cheap money. And so right now is a good time to rent because there's so many landlords. It's a bad time to buy because the interest rates are so high on the money you borrow, and because house prices got pushed up so much already. So that's my perspective on it, but that doesn't make it true, but that's my perspective. Okay, we got this Suicune from the Classic Collection. Ooh. Suicune Classic. Okay. Getting a price here. Was that useful, by the way? I love finances, so all I think about is money all day long. And sometimes that gives me a lot to say. Was that useful to hear my thought process there? You are. I'm cutting a check to a guy for, it's a little over $2,000 because he's fixing a flooding problem for me on that blue house, the Blue Lake house. That's $2,000 on top of the mortgage, and the mortgage is a bunch of interest. Also, a lot of people who do not own a home do not understand a term called amortization. I can't even say the word amortization. And basically what that is, when you agree to pay interest on a home, you do not get to pay toward the home until you've paid the interest. So the interest is all up front. So over the years, you pay the interest down. You don't actually build equity in the home until like 6 or 7 years in, basically. So it's really awful, really awful. The bank does that because they know if you don't like the house, you're going to sell right away. So they have it set up the way the interest is paid. If I make a house payment of $2,000, like 1,800 of that is going to be interest, and 200 of that is going to be equity. That's it. And that heavily changes over the years. So when we're in a 30-year mortgage near the end, when there's 5 years left, almost all of the $2,000 will go straight to equity. See how it's set up? That's called amortization. Is that how you pronounce it? And it sucks ass. It sucks ass. It means you just pay. You don't even pay on the equity of your home. You really do just pay interest and nothing else. It's literally like renting the home from the bank. So it's a very bad thing. Here's Luke Laurie, One Family Guy, Star Wars pack. You got it. I hope that's educational for people who don't own a house right now. 3 battle partners. If I was trying to buy houses today, I would be much more skeptical. It was easy back then because the houses were still jumping in price. So the interest rate didn't matter. You're just like, yeah, give me a house. These houses are jumping up in price. They're not doing that anymore. A lot of houses are going sideways or even declining slightly. And you can study that on Zillow. So you would like Mickey and Minnie Mouse PSA 2 slab. Ooh. I believe that is this one over here. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. $35 off, and it's Mickey and Minnie, and it's a very nice looking card. Lovely. Don't forget, there's something called mortgage insurance, too. Oh, yeah, you have to pay property taxes to the government. That's not equity. Equity is when you build up money in the home. You're renting it from the government, so you pay property taxes. And some places are really harsh, like Texas. Texas, for being a state tax state, they're really harsh. Their property taxes are terrible. So there's Texas making you pay all that money to the government. And then you have to pay the insurance company too, because the bank won't allow you to make the loan unless you own good insurance on it in case you set it on fire. So, and everyone really should insure their home. It just makes sense to. But so you're renting it from the government, you're renting it from the insurance company, and you're renting it from the bank. You don't actually get to build any equity. It's horrible. Yeah, so there's a time when the interest rate is so low and the prices of the houses are so low that it makes a lot of sense to buy the houses. They are not an investment right now. They're a trap. They're a trap. You will be a slave for the bank, a slave for the insurance company, a slave for the government, a slave for the repair companies that come and fix your roof, a slave for the guy who's got to come out and cut your lawn. And if you don't have a guy like that, you have to pay an HOA fee because you're part of an HOA where somebody else comes out and cuts your lawn. Yeah, it's a trap. The only time it's not a trap is when interest rates are low and house prices are low. Hi, we're back. We just got interrupted there. I guess we're still on the Wi-Fi. We were talking about that last night. I like the freedom of using the Wi-Fi, but we just had a little disconnect. So you want the Deoxys. Is that in the featured box? Let's see if that's in the featured box. All right. You can cut your own lawn, too. Oh, that's true, but I've done the math on that. You'd have to buy a lawnmower, and you'd have to spend your own labor. So the lawnmower has a per year value. You'd have to buy the oil for it. You'd have to buy the gas for it, and it depreciates, so one day it breaks. And, for someone like me, it's much smarter for me to work on the cards rather than mow my lawn because this is more valuable. Crazy enough. I'm more valuable working on this. All right, here it is, Manectric for Luke Laurie. You got it, Luke. Yeah, you're talking about they bought Model Ys at 80K at high interest, and then a year later they were 40,000 with low interest. Oh, that's like the Hertz rental company, right? The Hertz rental company did exactly that. They got killed. Yeah, they got really killed by that. Oops. All right. They should have just, you know what the Hertz company should have done? They should have bought $20 million of Pokemon cards. They'd be rich right now. All right. So we're going to Slab away, and we're setting you up, Mr. Luke Laurie. This is going to say June 25, Luke Laurie. And I'm assuming you sent $40 for this. Is that right? So this will come down to $380. Perfect. All right. Very good. Let's open up some packs. We had 15% down, had to pay a bit more for that insurance. The insurance goes away when we hit 20%. If you do not have 20% down payment, there's also mortgage insurance too. Oh, yeah, I never dealt with that. I always just did 20% down. I know what you're talking about because that was what Kara said. She said we could get a 5% loan, and so we wouldn't have to do as much of a down payment. But, like, there's this extra thing that we had to buy along with it. And I was like, ooh. I was like, let's just do 20% down. We are. All right. Slaps VA loan on the table. Hell yeah, dude. Well, you know, that's being a soldier pays. You get paid to be a soldier. It's good stuff. I think a lot of young men, if you're rambunctious, you got a lot of energy, you're fit, you should go into the military and get paid, man. You should do it. I would do it. Looking back on my life, I should have done it. I think it would have been a very smart move. But I worked for Target and I worked for Coca-Cola. That's why I did instead. And it all still worked out in the end for me, I guess. So maybe that's... Why would I want to change something if I'm having a lot of success? I guess that doesn't make sense, does it? We are. Tyranitar. Rare. Oh my gosh, no, mister. What? What do you mean, no? You get a hot girlfriend, too, if you go to the military. Girls are like, oh my God, put the uniform on. We in the military don't get paid well. Oh, no. We're not talking about, like, you're getting paid tons of money. But at a young age, at 18 years old... You're going to come out with the ability to get all kinds of special financing on buying your first home and going to school and healthcare as well. You get some healthcare benefits. So that's a pretty powerful start to your life at a young age. But you're right. It's technically not a lot of money. Technically not a lot of money. All right, here's Luke Laurie. Here we are. However, I think for people who stay in the military, it does one day turn into a lot of money, right? Like I had a good friend. And his father was in the military like 20 years, and that guy was freaking wealthy, dude. That guy was rich as hell. So he stayed in the military for like 20 years and got insanely wealthy. We have a $400,000 VA housing loan. You can donate the EX to the Pokepot. Ooh. You got it. This one? Was it that one? Wait, which one was it? Okay, must have been that one. Okay. I love my job. Get paid well and great benefits. That's the one. All right, you got it. Okay, very nice. I think for young men, the military is a clever move. It's not clever if you get hurt, so don't get hurt. Maybe it's like rolling the dice a little bit. Here we are. All right. I had a friend who went into the military. His name was Joseph Gomez, and he was real interesting. I really liked that guy. He was a good friend. He was a really good person, And he went into the military, came out 6 years later and bought a house in Texas. And he got married right away and had kids right away. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Just took a risk in some huevos. My job has great rewards. So, that was from our good friend, Mr. Luke. What else we got? We got Mr. Jesus Aguilera. He says 5 Destined Rivals packs, 2 Final Fantasy Soldiers Return. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da! And 2 Soldiers Return. Ooh, the Soldiers Return packs. The ones that give you a chance at that very, very, very expensive Tifa. There we go. All right. Lovely. Military will pay for your education and housing. Our searchers return the one with the expensive cloud card. Yes, they do have an expensive cloud card as well. In fact, I believe there's 3 different cloud cards in Soldiers Return, and there's 2 different Sephiroth cards, and then there's a Chase Tifa card that is just insanely expensive. The best part, these booster packs are coming straight out of a sealed master case. A master case is 2 sealed cases in their own case. And so your odds here of a very good pull are high. Probably higher than anywhere else on the internet, because I do not see any other master cases for sale. It's a very rare thing what we're doing. Tifa, you'll say. Yes, Tifa can come out of here. Very sexy Tifa. Even if you don't pull like the true Chase version of the Tifa, you can pull like the lower rarity version and still grade that and probably still make your money back on it. There's Ponyta. Of course, you can also get a cold round. That's pretty natural. Here's Blip Bug. Dude, my fingers are tired from yesterday. We opened that many cards that my fingers got tired. Here's a Yanma. Wow, you're rich. Military equals cheating girlfriend. I hear a lot about that. I hear about, you know, the girls get like lonely or something while you're out. I don't know. Don't get married until after you're done serving. All right, here's Gadgeteer and Claris Zach. Okay. Here's this Princess Sarah. Why don't you keep this Princess Sarah? Nothing crazy in those 2 packs. I miss my man. Bro, I heard Magic the Gathering is coming out with the Final Fantasy set. Mister was in my dream, and Karis, for whatever reason, was the woman in Shallow How. What? Here we are. There you go. Karis has an outfit like Tifa. All black and white. Very sexy. Here we are. There we go. Master case for Final Fantasy means all full arts are guaranteed just somewhere. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true. All full arts are guaranteed, because we opened up some master cases trying to pull some signature cards later, and that never materialized. So who was it? That was years ago. That was the From Nightmare set, and there was a guy who was kind of new to our channel. He just suddenly went super deep, and he opened up a master case of the From Nightmares collection, and he didn't pull the signature cloud. So I wonder if that's... Although you did say full art, you didn't say signature. Here we are. Jesus Aguilera. Siggy not guaranteed. Ooh. So, you know, if she's in there, that'd be a really fun pull. Okay. Came back from a 4-hour walk. Jesus, that's a long walk. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, what do we have here? We have a Topps card that failed to get a 10. What could it cost it to get a 9? If it's not good enough, I'm cracking it. Well, there is a dot in his mouth right here. It's like a little dot, but could that just be natural? Like, look at all the other dots. Maybe that was supposed to be there? I don't know. Would that cause it? I'm going to crack him and send him off to tag grading. That card is a card that's valuable enough that if you were to go off to tag grading and turn into a 10, it's going to be worth it. If it turns into a 9, we'll try to break even or whatever. But some cards, like these vintage cards, they have more value inherent to the card, and they're worth the risk. This PSA slab doesn't have as strong of encapsulation. I can feel it. It's breaking easy. This corner's not. This is the strong corner, huh? This corner is really strong. Ah, there it goes. There it goes. Got it. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. Let's try to peel it now. Let's see what happens. It's like peeling a coconut. Okay. You gonna try the new Elden Ring mode? Tell me about it. Tell me about the new Elden Ring mode. You're getting ad rev, right, mister? Ad revenue? Yeah, I get a little bit of ad revenue. Not much. I make a little bit of ad revenue on this channel. Almost all money that I make comes directly from sales. And for the small amount of ad revenue I do make, all of that goes straight to Mr. Mike's side. In fact, not only does it go straight to Mike's side, but it's not enough to pay him, so I have to pull money out of my pocket to pay him. Oops. Remind me to take a picture of this before we crack it. PSA 9 to tag. He's about 350. Yeah, most of the shorts make virtually no money at all. They make like 20 cents. And then a live stream like this can earn maybe about $15 of ad revenue if it does really well. Okay. Tag. Okay. What else do we have? We've got, ooh, here's a nice war turtle. He graded 10. That's good. That's really nice, actually. All right. I bet you these PSA slabs have to be getting expensive, because if you go looking for like a box of PSA cards, they're like crazy expensive now. They used to be cheap. The PSA cards used to be cheap. They are not cheap anymore. Oops. Here we are. This war turtle about $55. 55, huh? Let's do a break on it. I don't think we have any good gym breaks, right? This one's pretty clever, right? War turtle's popular. All right, we have a nice war turtle break. What did I do that I can't see the store options in the description now? Hit refresh. Hit refresh on the stream. Okay, so now we have an order. Fame. Andy Dirksen. Finish my slab away. Hell yeah, dude. Andy Dirksen. Lord of the Rings Hobbits. Add 3 slabs for 205. Oh, so you had a Lord of the Rings setup, huh? All right, I don't think they're here. Let me go check the actual slab away boxes. I gotta stand up. Put this out of my way. And, oh, I found Ditto Pikachu. He's so cool looking. Why are all these slabs like not in their boxes? I don't understand. I don't know why I do things this way. I'm so crazy. Well, that's just gonna tip over. All right, Andy Dirksen. Brad Bettle. Ah, here you are. Found you. Aw, yeah. You guys want to see a cool slab? I'm gonna show you a cool slab. Check that out. That's a Ditto Pikachu made out of clay. It's a Yukimori card, right? Yukimori? Yukamori. All yours, Mr. Andy? Look at that. Andy, I think we have another Lord of the Rings slab up here somewhere. I found one the other day. You want to go looking for it? Here it is. Lord of the Nazgul. I've lowered it to $67 because it didn't sell last time. Rainbow Hollow, too, on this. Isn't that cool? Give me the chunk. The chunk? What's the chunk? That Ditto Chew. It's Ditto Chew, yeah. All right, you're taking care of Mr. Andy? Boom. Perfect. It's a big order, man. Luke Laurie says, donate a Destiny Rival pack to chat. $10 tip for Alexis. Tell her thanks from me to family Star Wars guys. I'm going to send her that tip. Okay. Writing over to Cash App. $10. Okay. Alexis. All right. And the note shall say, from Luke Laurie, shipping tip. Okay. And pay. I'm always scared I'm going to send the money to the wrong person. So I look it over like twice. And there you have it. Very nice. I know she appreciates those tips. She does a lot of work for us. She gets all that shipping done. So all these cards you see us selling, it's all got to get shipped. And so she does a lot of shipping. It's kind of like the grunt work, and it's not as fun. Although it's relaxing, I would say, because it's very private. You're not expected to it's very you get a lot of privacy when you do it. And well, other than the 5 cameras that stare at you while you do it. All right, you ready? So 2 Family Guys. Let's go get those 2 Family Guys. 2 Family Guys. You're donating that to chat, aren't you? 2 Star Wars Family Guys. We need a new box of the Star Wars Family Guys. And this is to chat. So let's set this up. You gonna do anything with GameConomist soon? GameConomist streaming. I'm very, very busy and am finding it hard to justify spending a lot of time on the GameConomist channel. But I'm not done with that channel. It's just really hard to find like a time space where I should be playing games rather than like working on stuff I'm behind on over here, because I'm virtually behind on everything. Like, I just can't keep up. The demand for what I'm doing is high, and so there's some infinite amount of work I could be doing. We are. What I really ought to do, I really ought to have 2 people helping me, not just one. Alexis is one person. I'd have 2 people, and then I think I would be able to do GameConomist more frequently. Okay, we'll put you down as Luke, maybe? Okay, this is the Luke giveaway from Luke Laurie. Let's go set it up. Selling Pokies is the priority. He's got to move. I know we're definitely going to play Pokemon when the new Pokemon comes out, so you guys don't want to miss that. And yeah, I just wish we had more time. I mean, yesterday we streamed for 7 hours and virtually filled that entire time slot out. Like, we were even slow at one point yesterday night, and then we just got busy again. Like, somebody just started buying stuff, and I was like, all right, let's get it open. Lies of P. Selling Poké is priority. Luke, what's up, 6? All right. Snipping that. What should I eat today for dinner? It's Friday. Should I take Kiris out? Take her out to KFC. 30-minute drive to KFC. TIE Fighters. Life on Tatooine. Proven Power. Oh, you get a holo card. Very nice. Crab legs and dinner rolls. Oh, place to eat crab legs at? There is actually a place where you can eat crab legs out here. Okay, Luke/Chris. Chris says Luke. Add Luke to the scoreboard. Yeah, that's true. Here's Familiar Song. Here's Hans Cholo Peter. Ta-da! All right. Very nice. So that's what we have. And you got a nice holo card out of there this time. Mr. Luke. So, Luke, you got a lot of stuff here. And what I'd like to do is remove Louis Ruiz from the box so that we have more room for your stuff. Here's a Lorenzo Shrub as well. All right, and then why don't we split you into a third bag? And this bag's perfectly sized. I like this. Okay. Okay, there we go. Very nice. Are we going to get a Chef Economist channel? No. I could show you all my yummy low-cost meals. Being able to eat cheap and delicious, very important. It's actually really easy. I mean, eating cheap's not that crazy. The problem is Most people don't want to eat cheap. What they want to eat is like delicious carbs. That's the real problem. You want to go to the steakhouse, you want to have bread and butter, you get a little piece of steak, but it'll come with a big pile of, like French fries and some sort of cheese on the side, some crazy thing like that, you know what I mean? But if you want to eat cheap, you just go home, you get a whole thing of like chicken thighs or chicken legs, and you just bake that in the oven, cover it all in seasonings, and then you're just done. You have tons and tons of meat, and it's not even that expensive compared to like eating out. Eating out is crazy expensive. All right. We have a lovely PSA 10 Nido King. Budget meal food reviews just for fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. Budget meals. It is. Okay. Basically, the trick is to eat eggs and chicken. Avoid steak. You can actually get pork too. Pork's pretty cheap. Steak, for whatever reason, is way overpriced. Although there are some pieces of steak and beef that are cheaper. All right. Heck, even the shrimp's not that bad. Eggs used to be by far the cheapest thing you could buy. I wonder how they rank now. Wow, this card's much more expensive than the War Turtle. I didn't expect that. So he's going to be $80. That might be a good price right now. He might be underpriced. Because I thought these were close to 100, these cards here, and he was only 60. Chancy coin, $700. Pristine 10, very prestigious coin. All right, cool, man. Wow, Alexis even got a tip. That's so nice. Juan Diaz is next. He wants 2 Destined Rivals. 2 Destined Rivals. Miss Alicia's here. How are you today, Alicia? Alicia, we're going to have some interesting new poker cards. This is coming from a special leaf green deck. And the artworks are unique. There it is, leaf green, see? I wish we had the fire red. I actually do have a fire red deck, but it's sealed and I refuse to open it. I don't want to open it because it's my only one. All right, one is. Someone asked about Fossil Break. Not sure if you answered it already. What's your question? Fossil Break? Fossil Break's got 4 booster packs left, but one of those is taken by the Sublist. Sublist hasn't moved in a few days. It's got like 4 people in it. Oops. You still have time to buy a booster pack from that break. You still have time to get on the Sublist. Yep. It's very close. We could be finishing that Fossil Break in a month or 2. You just never know when people snap and say, all right, that's it, I'm buying it. But it's gotten more expensive. It's $695 a pack. It's much more expensive. And we like it that way because the Fossil Box is more expensive. Jump it over here. What will be the break after this one? It's unclear. Maybe it'll be like a black and white Euro box. Maybe it will be just an X-White Euro box. I don't have like a Fossil or Jungle box queued up that I'd like to do a break on. And we're wanting to move. So, I mean, I could go out and buy one for like whatever, $15,000. But I don't know if I want to do that right now. I could give it one of mine, but I don't want to do that either. Yeah, loot pack. Okay, we got Strawberry. That's Sarah. Mega Mew. Celebration box. What? Thank you so much, Mr. Juan Diaz. Alicia Brown says, War Turtle, please. Alicia Brown's jumping into the War Turtle gym break. We need one more person in here. He's a starter. War Turtle's that middle evolution. Not bad at all. Like I was saying, these Topps cards are going up in price because the booster boxes are all sold out now. You can't, in the past, you didn't need to buy the slabs because there were so many cheap boxes. You could buy a box and open packs and grade them. That's over. You can't do that anymore. So what happens after the boxes become very expensive? Well, people start to buy the slabs rather than the boxes, and then the price on the slabs move up. So that's what's happening next. Oh man, look at this card. It got an 8, dude. That's an 8. It's got 2 little specks at the top here. From my perspective, this is definitely not an 8. It's like a 9. What do I do? You think I regrade it? I mean, if I regrade it and it gets a 9, I don't think it makes that much. Like, after you're done paying the cost of grading, I think you're basically just, you know, like, what I'm saying is the difference between an 8 and 9 is maybe just a little more than $20 or something. there's the risk that it just regrades into an 8 too. I don't know, dude. Still waiting on the Lechonk. So PSA 8 goes for just $32. That's insane. I don't think it would grade 10. It's got 2 clear white dots. The centering's so good on it, though, you know. 8. Crazy. Need my crown for power. I don't know. Okay. How's the queue? Pretty short, actually. It's not too bad. You know, we went really crazy for Thursday, and I think that on Thursday night, people have already spent their Friday paycheck. And now we're on Friday, and people have already spent their paycheck's gone. This will definitely sell. That'll be gone. All right. Thank you, Miss Alicia, for joining that break. I have 2 of them. Look at this. How did this one grade 8? Oh my God, this one looks so good. This one actually looks really good. There's like no dots on it. That's an 8, everybody. Welcome to PSA's new grading rate. That's, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I feel robbed. You know that card's like over $200 if it grades 10, right? I have to try to regrade this. Let me see. I have to try because this is just crazy. Wow, such a clean card. I don't get it. I can't stand it. It really bothers me. I feel like after years of understanding PSA grading, they've just changed their standard and made it so much worse. And now you have to relearn it all. Oops. I just cracked the whole thing down the center. Didn't intend to do that. Okay. I just have to know. What do you guys think I should send this one? CGC? I'm thinking CGC on this one. Noticing the bottom of the slab is the strongest encapsulation point. And down here, this is really tough. This right here is getting the best seal. Crazy how that works, isn't it? I'm not trying to injure the card, so, you know. Oh, there it goes. One CGC, one tag to see the difference. Okay, that's unsealed there. Okay, it's good. All right, I think we're ready. Ready for the peel. Okay. Okay. How's that an 8? That's crazy, dude. That is so not an 8. Wow. That is nuts, man. Freaking PSA, dude. Mr. Just Breaking Slabs per usual. Well, not per usual. Lately, as of lately, with PSA's new grading scheme, handing out 8s to really nice cards. Crazy, dude. This whole submission was like this. All right. All right. So, let's see. Andy Dirksen, Lord of the Rings Magic Slab. Oh, yes. We were talking about this. Here you are. Ta-da! Andy Dirksen. Son of Dirk. Boop. Okay. Some of these submissions we get back pretty soon. They're going to start including cards that are getting resubmitted. So we're going to start seeing outcomes on that. We're going to learn more about that, see if resubmitting is really working or not. Here's a nice card, though. So check this out. We actually got one really good grade. The one Pokemon I don't care about as much. But that's a holographic Weezing 10. You can barely tell that this card is holographic. That was always the problem with this card. It looked a lot like a non-holo, but it's not. Dark Weezing Holo got a 10, huh? Wow. Okay. Very nice. Imagine it gets a 7. It could. It could, and if it does get a 7, we'll take that as feedback. So we'll learn. We'll learn. I don't have to do this very often. I don't have to crack so many slabs very often. But I do feel, just from my experience, that this particular round was graded so extremely harshly. Remember, I've graded a lot of cards with PSA. A lot. It's not a small amount. They've never been this harsh before. And so we got to test that. So, Dark Weezing continues to be super affordable. He is never that expensive. This is a $300 card. He's got to be one of the ugliest cards ever drawn, right? Look at that, Dark Weezing. This was a huge nostalgia card for me, by the way, as a kid, because if you bought the Team Rocket deck, you got a Dark Weezing. And my dad gave us one of those Team Rocket decks as payment for helping him brick the home. We bricked our own home. We had like normal siding on the home, and then we built like these big steel beams at the bottom of the home, and we literally bricked our whole house. And we did that as kids, and he paid us to do that. And one of the payments was Pokemon cards. And so I got a Team Rocket deck with Dark Weezing in it and Dark Arbok on another one. Not as ugly as Jinx. That's true. Jinx is pretty ugly. No, I don't know if anything's more ugly than this here Weezing. I like him in the new one in Destined Rivals. The Destined Rivals one looks way cooler. But yeah, he's an odd one, isn't he? He looks very odd. Oh my god, look at this. So we got a Charmeleon graded 10. I'm telling you, these later grades, they've got to be worth more. The later grades got to be worth more. So here's a 10 on a Charmander as well. All right, there's no orders in the queue right now. If you like no wait times, we have no wait times. Okay, and let's see. So I really only want to compare mine to one that's got a similar high certification number. Do any of these have a high certification number? Yes. So this is the first one that has the similar certification number at $186. So that's the price I'm going with. So that's going to happen on this stream from now on. I'm going to be comparing certification numbers, and I'm not going to be comparing prices to old certs because I think that this is much harder to get. We are. All right. Ooh. Nice cards on the table now, huh? Those are all vintage, by the way. That's cool stuff. When does the next PSA go out? Well, it should go out this weekend, yes. It should go out this weekend. I got some cool stuff to send out to them, too. Mostly poker cards, but it's really cool stuff. You guys are going to appreciate it when it comes back. And you'll be like, ooh, I didn't know you had that. I'm going to be like, yes, I did. Speaking of poker cards, how about we get some of these poker cards? Here's a neat one. Here's a chance to own Leaf Green Gyarados. Oh, that got a nice 10. So the poker cards are just hitting those 10s really easy. I don't know what it is. Poker cards must be printed really well. I'm not sure. So it's really, really interesting. Poker cards are doing well for me right now. Mister, do you know how much my shipping is currently? If you're in the United States, which I think you are, you're in Hawaii, right? I can't remember. It is $9 always. $9 in the United States. You could have like 100 pounds of Pokemon cards, and it would still be $9. So it's capped at $9. Okay, so we have a special Gyarados here. And there's none for sale. I'm looking for it. None for sale at all. Why? Because it's from a really rare set called the Heart Gold. I'm sorry, the Leaf Green Fire Red set. And this one's going to be the Venusaur on the back. What do you guys think this should be priced at? Well, what's a normal Gyarados go for? From like the red, yellow, blue deck. So a typical green deck Gyarados is like 200. Now this was printed in 2004. Keep that in mind. That's 2004. So it's still extremely old, is my point. It came out during the EX era. I bet you this is like pop 2 or 3, right? What's really interesting about this deck is, while I own a lot of the red, blue, yellow, and green decks, I own almost no leaf green or red decks. And what that tells me, I never run into them. They're really rare. So I believe this card to be very rare. It's pop 3. We're going to set it down for $300 and just leave it, okay? I know it's kind of a high price, but he's pop 3. And again, I own almost no decks of this. It's just must be very rare. Let's see. I'm curious about this. I'm doing a little research on this card. Yeah. Let's see, what's this? Yes, so you can't find any sealed decks of Fire Red or Leaf Green at all. I have one deck of each. That's all I have. And so this guy just came back. He's pop 3. I've been buying poker decks for 3 years now. Has it been 3 years? And if I only own one of these decks each, it has to be one of the most rare and good-looking poker decks there are. So he's going to be kind of a high price. Should have waited for that Gyarados. Should price more. Yeah, well, we'll probably have more. I think 300 is a very fair price because, again, I don't think you're going to see this population rise much higher than like, I don't know, like 15 maybe. I don't know how many decks there are out there in the world. I mean, obviously they printed more than 10 decks, but you can't find them anywhere. So where are they all? It was printed during the EX era. EX era is kind of famous for short prints, so maybe they short printed the poker decks too. And yeah, you just can't find them. If I've been shopping poker decks for like 3 years, and I own one of each deck of the Fire Red, Leaf Green, it's got to be crazy rare. What that literally means is I just never ran into them. That means no one was listing them. That's because they don't exist. So very fascinating Leaf Green deck coming back, and we are lucky to have that, pulling in some good grades. By the way, they're exceptionally expensive when they are sealed. So if you find one that's sealed, it's just crazy expensive. How much to Cyber away? $300. Andy, give me PlayStation 2 because you got PS logo. So here's an Andy Dirksen, Lord of the... Oh, we already did that one. Hold on, let me hit refresh here. Oh, the stream's so nice without the crazy music. Okay, Andy Dirksen, Slab away Poker Gyarados. Oh, he grabbed it right away. Okay, so Andy Dirksen, don't forget there's a little $20 fee associated with that too. And so we pull that, which means you've really put $30 toward it, right? Okay, so that's yours now. Andy Dirksen. I don't think that was a bad choice, Andy. I think that this deck is weirdly rare. And so for it to be similar in price to just a standard Poker Gyarados, probably I could have underpriced it there. Gyarados. What do we agree on? 300? So 270 remains. And there you have it. Now it's yours. Austin says rip. That's what happens, man. Anytime you get like a top card on the table, it's gone so fast. And even these will be gone. All these vintage cards will be gone. He's only 300, and he's holographic first edition Dark Weezing. That's an $80 Nido King. This is a gym break. This card's definitely going away. By the way, there's only one spot left on this. So there's one person already interested in that. Dark Flareon, he's so beautiful for only 35. Somebody will buy this just because it's beautiful. I should buy this. This should be in the Poké Shuffle. This is going in the Poké Shuffle. So I'll set that to the side. And then Charmander for 186, it's actually just really good. So, and it's got that later date right there. It's got that later certification on it. So it's a high certification Charmander. And then, let's see, we have Mr. William Wafter. 4 packs of the Korean Starbirth. Yes, sir. This is high quality stuff. It just came back from PSA. I'm annoyed at their new tougher grade, but I'm not talking poo on bad grades. I mean, if you're getting cards that are graded like they were pristine 10, there's nothing wrong with that for the buyer. The buyer, that's a good deal for the buyer. The buyer's excited for that. We are. Actually, that's really important. I better look into that Dark Weezing again, because we have a Dark Weezing that was graded much later, and I might have been comparing him to one that was graded, a long time ago. Ours was graded recently. Lucario. My mindset was just, let go of the Weezing. But I realized now I need to compare him to, I need to compare his certification numbers. Here's William Wafter. William, I can't grab your bag. You know why I can't grab your bag? Because I blocked it with all these slabs. The slabs are hiding it. Let's see. Is this it? Is this William? Here's a William Henry. Wait, are you new? I don't know. Does William Wafter already have a bag? Mr. William. Move some of this out of the way. Wow, we have really amazing cards here, guys. I really have way more cards than I can do anything with. Haha, I am William Henry. Are you actually? So 2 different names. Here it is. All right. If you are saying that's who you are, I'm going to go ahead and combine these. All right. Cool, man. Very good. Appreciate the order. Dylan Chance here. He wants 2 boxes of the Magical Girls. Oh, yeah. Magical Girls, huh? Where did I put those? Did we already have some in the room? That'd be nice. No? No? I think I have to stand up for it. I'll be right back. Mr. I have a bag too. Nice. All right. All right, here I am. Ta-da. So, how was I sitting? Was I sitting like this? Get comfortable. Ta-da. So, this is Weiss Magical Girls. Oh, yeah. So, you bought 2 of them. Let's get you on this list. Dylan Chan. Also, the donation, right? Is Luke already on here? No. So this is going to be Luke Laurie. $9. Luke Laurie has donated $9. Very nice. You put it in the wrong bag. Oh, he said it was for give the cards back. Sorry, Will. He told me that was him. He was lying. There we go. Mr. Read chat. Oh, I'm reading it. Did William Wafter say he has his own bag? Mr. I have a bag too. William, wrong William, mister. That's because the other guy said it was his. He said, or maybe he was trying to talk to somebody else about something else. I don't know. Oh, man, I can't even access the bag. Hold on. Okay, give me a second. You said my name, William Henry. I said, ha, 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 I am William Henry. Oh, and I interpreted that as William Wafter and William Henry are the same person. Let me explain what happened. A lot of people pay on different platforms. They'll pay on ZELLE, and then they'll also pay on Venmo, and then they'll also pay on CASHAPP. And sometimes they have similar but different names. So William Henry sounds like 2 first names. Maybe Henry's a middle name, and maybe Wafter's the last name. So I interpreted that as, I am both William Henry and William Wafter. That's how I interpreted that. Oops. Simple mistake. Let's go find that bag. That is a very common thing for people to have two names on this channel because of the different payment systems. Okay, we're just trying to find you though. Here's Zach. Here's Zach. You know, it's funny. I knew I would have a problem with this. I have too many slabs. I stacked the slabs in front of the XYZ boxes, and it's becoming a problem. Glad you caught that. A lot of Williams around here. That's why I hate my first name and the fact I have 3 first friggin' names. Oh. You have 3 first names? There it is. Okay. But yeah, so it was a simple misunderstanding. All right, so I have access now. Had to move a lot of slabs for that. Let's start picking these boxes up and looking into the boxes. We gotta make sure Mr. William Wafter gets his holographic cards. Winston Lee, Mr. Williams. And I'll try to remember this for next time. You're in the 3rd box on the left. There we go. Ta-da! Problem solved. Any new EVs slabbed up? Maybe? Maybe? I don't actually know. Okay, and now these got to come back down. This was a really big slab return, so there's certainly a lot of slabs for sale now. And I want to just keep grading and keep building up that inventory. Here's a Sandslash, got a 9. Look at this Blastoise. This Blastoise got a 10, huh? That's really good. All right, here's War Turtle as well. Look at this. Squirtle, Dratini, Iona got a 9, huh? That's interesting, because the last round of Ionas all got 10s. Whoa, look at that. Jigglypuff. Oh my gosh, we got a lot of stuff, guys. Any Topps foil? Mr. Slabwalthy. There was a Topps that came back that we just cracked because it got a 9. We're going to try it again at like tag grading, see how they treat it. They might be nicer. I don't know if they'll be nicer. Yo, I missed the days of you selling ungraded poker cards. Well, they were for sale very recently, and nobody was buying them. And so as a result of that, I took them back off the menu. There we go. Sometimes the poker cards kind of stick to that top lip, but they're not actually crushed in it. Like if you actually look, they're not crushed. I thought that they were crushed. They just needed knocking down. I don't know how that happens. Maybe it's they're not perfectly sealed or something on the inside. No way, that's my crack. What? All right, so let's see. 2 boxes of Magical Girls. Ready? Hey everyone, trump card. Tossing it. Let's open this. Toss that away. And now let's grab this as well. Very nice. All right. Very good. Throwing that. Let's grab this as well. 2 boxes. The poker cards are thinner cardboard than the other cards. Tossing this. Tossing this. I think that's probably it. The poker cards do actually feel thinner, not all of them. Tossing that, very nice. All right. Ready to snip? I was driving home from work and had to pull over so I could get that Gyarados. You really wanted that one. Let's snip this as well. Very nice. And let's snip this one as well. All right. Snipping that. Very good. And whoops. And we'll snip this too. All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Very good. And these two as well. Don't pokey and drive. Toss this up here. Wait a second here. Let's see. Very nice. So, what are we going to get? 2 signatures right away. Here's Aha, this girl, very nice, with the hair. Boop. And here's Crazy Nun Girl. Here's, aha, Crazy Girl here with her crazy outfit. And Santa Claus outfit girl, very nice. Bra girl, she's just hanging out. Here's blonde-haired girl. Very nice. Oops. Blonde-haired girl again. Toss this way. Soup. What's the closest break, says Andy Man. The closest break. Probably the gym break for the War Turtle is closest. All the breaks are basically new. A lot of the ones that we had previously just finished, so we have new ones. I feel like a lot of focus is going into the booster packs right now. Here we are. Looking for a Siggy. Here's a blonde hair girl. And grabbing this. All right, very nice. Here's this girl here, very nice. And when we're opening these boxes, we're always looking for those signature cards, but so far he hasn't pulled one. So we're done with box 1. Here's box number 2. Oh. Hey, it's Jennifer Yap. How are you today, Miss Jen? Today we're opening wholesome girl cards today, Jen. As you can see, they're super wholesome. Oh. PSA return. Anything awesome to show off? Yeah, actually, there were some really good poker returns, but I got strongly devastated on everything else. PSA was handing out really harsh grades on everything. We are. The poker cards, though, those are good. I'm going to show those off in a second if you'd like. Let's see. Actually, there's 2 cards that come to mind. There's a Gengar. There's a Gengar, and there's a Charizard that come to mind. Trying to remove some of these lewd cards, like really lewd cards. 2 girls kissing, that's pretty lewd. That girl with their boobies out. Some cards really aren't that lewd. Like, they're lewd in theory. Like, that one seems kind of lewdish. This one's definitely, that's lewd. That one's fully lewd. That one's fully lewd. That one's fully lewd. That one's kind of lewd. Okay. Dylan Chan, you going deeper on these? I love it. That one's fully lewd. Okay. Girls kissing. We're going to run out of these again. You know, I had to order 2 more cases of this because this set was so popular. Okay. We went through them at the beginning of the stream, and I was, like, throwing a fit. I was all angry. We've been pricing them up as the stream goes by. Here you go, Mr. Dylan. Now, we got your 2 spots on the... All right, there we go. Sorry, I was having a conversation. So, let's grab Dylan's bag from over here. Here we are. I'm surprised there isn't more DR orders. There were really huge DR orders yesterday, so I think the people who really wanted to get into the Destined Rivals bought most of it yesterday, and then now their wallet's back is blown out. So But we had some today. Yeah, there were definitely some orders for that today. And if we take a close look, we have a break going on for a box of Destined Rivals, if you guys went into that, 41.9. And this went off like twice yesterday. Destined Rivals box break. I think it went off 2 times. All right, so here's another interesting card. Magikarp from Leaf Green. This is kind of a niche card because there are some big Magikarp collectors out there. And I'd be one of those, actually. Could be better. Trying to get someone to fix the AC. They always break when the weather gets hot. Jeez. Yeah, that sucks. I really like the house we're in right now because it actually has 2 air conditioning units. And so if one breaks, the other one's still alive. And it made me think, like, man, most houses should have that design. Most houses should have 2 AC units. There it is. It's like a bigger investment, but with 2 AC units, they both do half the work. So they don't wear out as fast anyways. In my opinion, they don't have to, like, run as hard. And then if one breaks, the other one's ready to keep the house running and cold. But that also means eventually you replace 2 of them. Poker Magikarp. So I do not see one for sale of this exact type, which again leads me to believe Leaf Green Magikarp might be more rare. I think I'm going to go with the pricier value on this card. My bet is it's going to be very low pop, just like the Gyarados. I need to learn how to fix the AC. It is. All right. Yeah, put your worker gloves on. Get some electrical equipment. I don't know about that. You can get electrocuted. There it is. All right. So we're done with that. Let's see. Next up, we have an order. Finn. Hit refresh. There's Scyther in Greenleaf. There's an awful lot of Pokemon, but a poker deck tends to only have 50 cards. So they're not all in there. Like, here's a Beedrill. Deoxys looks insane. Kabutops. Eevee failed. There's an Ivysaur. There's a lot of slabs. I'm not able to reach all of them at once. Yeah, there's a lot. We'll be pricing them up one at a time as we go. Look at this. Somebody get this for 6. That's a nice card. Is she here? I don't even think she's here. You can't break up the pair like that. Might as well let him slab it away. Could you add the Magikarp to my slab away? I'd be happy to do that. That's actually a very good case of putting a pair into slab away. Here you go. Yeah, actually, I agree. These would be really good paired together. There we go. They're sequential, too. How cool is that? Wow. And let's grab this. Well, here, we'll just use a simple bag. So these are together forever. He sometimes allows multiple card slab-aways. Yes, for exact moments like right now. That's a great example of when cards should be paired together. All right. For Mr. Andy. So this is actually going to say 5 honeys. And this is going to say 470. Very good. Okay. Clicking on this. We've got Garrett Wixom. He says, 2 packs of Destined Rivals. Not too sure if I have a bag. It's been a minute. Hello, Garrett. How are you today? Oh, yeah, we were pricing this, weren't we? That's a nice card. That's Classic Collection Raichu. Is authenticating with PSA cheaper than grading? I actually never figured out how to do their authenticating, but I'm willing to bet that it's not, because even if they don't have to do the step where there's grading, that's just one step. Most of the value of the grading actually comes from authenticating, like what they're talking about, what you're, and the encapsulation process, which is pretty much the hardest part. Handing out the grades is a relatively easy part of the grading process. Yeah, you get a raw card in. They probably, if I had to guess, they do a image assistant grading. So they probably have a camera that hangs overhead, and then they probably click through the different views that the camera has, and then they say, okay, this card's an 8, this card's a 9, this card's an 8. You know what I'm saying? So they probably have image assisted grading by now. I'd be surprised if it's just guys sitting in a room holding the card up to the light. But they used to do it that way. That's how they used to grade all the cards. A guy who, with a lot of experience, would just look at the card, and that's it. Here we are. That was what they used to do. I don't know what they do now. They don't really reveal it, do they? Mr. Garrett. Garrett Wixom. It's been a minute. Are you sure? It says 525 on it. Garrett Wixom. Here we are. Ooh. How would an authenticated card be priced, especially so rare to find? Everyone goes for grading. I don't know. Here we are. Oh, speaking of which, Jen, you're here. You should see a card that you need to add to your collection. Now, I own this card. I'm not, in particular, a Psyduck collector. Here it is. This guy right here. I bet you don't own this Psyduck. Was it going to be like Pop 2 or something? There's a Psyduck you don't own. And it is. Let's see. He was extremely expensive. He is. He's Pop 2. Okay, so that's a Pop 2 Psyduck. Yeah, for whatever reason, these Quest stickers are crazy. They're crazy expensive. He's Pop 2. So is this Eevee. See this Eevee Pop 2? Okay, Jen, so I think I bought him for like $800 plus taxes. So, and then to sell him, I would also have to have a cover for the, probably the PayPal fee. So that's like 3.5%. And then, you know, I'd probably like to make a little bit of profit on them too. But yeah, I was buying up all the Quest cards, not just the Psyduck. I was buying all these. That shows you how extremely expensive they were. This card here was crazy expensive. Charizard, yeah, he was expensive. There's the pair though. Look, I could sell a pair of this together. But yeah, I bet you should do that first. Tam is waiting for Lechonk. I don't know where the Lechonk is, but I wanted to show you that because I don't know if I ever showed you that one. There we go. Now, let's get this Raichu real fast. I do not know. I've been asking for the last 40 minutes. Oh, I thought you were just saying that I sounded Lechonky when I talk. I thought that's what you were saying. I thought you were teasing me. Here's Raichu. Classic. I don't know where he went. I don't know where the Lechonk went. It was actually a really big return, and so I don't know where he's at. All right. We got 36 on our Raichu here. Let's see them toes, mister. Hey! Now, how about that dark wheezing? I forgot. So our dark wheezing is encapsulated recently at the higher standard. Ah, and this one's old. This one's from the 5.9s. So what's the closest one to what we have? Here's an 8. We're looking for one in the hundreds. Oh, there are none. There are none. There are no wheezings that are graded in the latest certification number. So I feel like, with that being said, the price on these cards that are at the higher certification number will not be the same as, you know, one that was graded in when the certs were 5s. It was easy to get 10s back then. Wasn't that challenging? All right. I don't know where the Lechonk went. The Lechonk disappeared. He's trying to sell it. Well, he's a businessman. Look at this one. That one's a big deal. There's a Glaceon. That Gengar's a big deal. I don't know how many of those Gengars there are. Mister, help Tam Tam, please. So I would, but there's like... So these slabs that we have here are mixed with the other ones now after we went hunting for that William Wafter box. There's about 600 slabs at my feet. There's about 600 of them. And I think I know roughly the pile that they're in, but it would just take a very long time to find it. What I can do for you, though, Tammy, what if we, when we have a slow point in the stream, maybe we go hunting for it? But what I'll do is I just won't sell it to anyone else. How does that sound? So I won't sell that to anyone else. We'll keep it around for you. And, but he's lost somewhere. I don't know where he's at. It's really a lot of slabs. I wish I could show you guys. I mean, I could show you guys, actually. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. What's going on is I have 3 PSA returns, and we haven't priced it. All 3 of them are incompleted when it comes to pricing, and the latest one was like an additional 200 slabs. Plus, we have actually a pile of tag slabs here, too, and just other slabs that I wanted to hold on to longer before we priced up. And then we've got, of course, the 2 cases, too. Yeah, we're in slab heaven right now. We're in slab heaven. Here we are. There we go. So there's Glaceon and Gengar. I think it's probably better to hold on to the Gengar for now. Glaceon 206. It's a lovely Glaceon. What I can do for you, Miss Tammy, is we can hold on to it so that no one else gets it. Wow, Glaceon's not cheap. He's a $100 card. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad when you think about how expensive a box is. Okay. Yeah, this guy's special. I don't know what to do with him. We might just have to hold him for a while. Do a gym break on the Glaceon. You want a gym break on the Glaceon? Six just always wants a gym break. Here you go, Six. We can do that. All right. Andy Dirksen, I'll take 5 packs of Star Wars Galaxy Chrome. Ooh, 5 packs of Star Wars Galaxy Chrome. Where have I been hiding those Chrome packs? We haven't had this kind of order in a while. Ah, there they are. This is one of the best Star Wars sets I've ever opened. Because it's like a bad guy set. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. There goes my heart along with that Gengar poker card. I'm thinking about the Destined Rivals box break. How does that work? Hey, what's up, man? Nice of you to pop back in. So it's very straightforward. You have 1 in 9 odds. If you miss, you're going to pull a card like this. So for $40, you'll be buying a card like this from me. If you hit, you're going to get the box. It's like that. So your odds are 1 in 9. It's a custom booster pack break. So there'll be 9 booster packs. They'll all have a card like this in it, worth maybe a penny. And 1 pack, and this will be your pull. This will be what you bought. But one of the packs will include a chase card that you may then trade for the actual box of Destined Rivals. That's how it'll work. And that's how all the breaks work. And yeah, people love it. They seem to really like it. It's just a fun option other than maybe like a normal opening. Bonjour, Mr. LeChunk. I bet you we run into them pretty soon. I'll reserve that for you, Tammy. The LeChunk will be on reserve. It's a really huge stack, so we'll find him soon. I know. I just don't want to. I don't want to try hunting through. Let me put it this way. None of the slabs are sleeved yet. They're all unsleeved. So when they're unsleeved like that, I try not to touch them because I don't want to put fingerprints on them. So I don't want to handle them too much. And they're all rested in a hard to move spot. So that's the part you don't understand. So now you know they're all kind of rested in a hard to move spot. We are. And I just don't want to touch them because they will get fingerprints on them. And when they don't have, when they're all sleeved, I'll be like, yeah, we can handle these all day long. It is. What's the deal with the XP? Is this a new thing? Yeah, apparently there's a leaderboard. The crown is doo-doo. Tammy loves the crown. It's her favorite part of the stream. Darth Vader. Wow, that looks really good. So these are really nice cards. Okay, very nice. Here's Ray Ray. So the only downside to these Star Wars cards is there's a lot of like Disney Star Wars in here too. Like that's Jango Fett, really bad. Jango Fett's a good guy. He's tired of all the misogyny. Here we are. Yeah, this is awful. Here's Luke Skywalker. Oh! This is one of the reasons to open the set right here. He did it. So Andy Dirksen pulled a sketch card by Brandon Klein. Cool, man. Look at that. I like how the sketch looks a little childish. All right, that's a hit. Congratulations. Okay, here's this lady who they kind of added a song for later. Ooh. Bro, the luck. I'm so old. I remember the Star Wars movies before George Lucas came in and like made big changes to them on the special effects remastered version. And the cantina scene or whatever it's called didn't have that silly song that played with the weird 3D animated guy singing it. Yeah, that didn't exist. Ooh. No, now I'm crowned. One that wasn't how that's supposed to work. What? You're number 1, Cody. Christopher Lee was in one of the James Bond movies. He was in the James Bond movie called The Man with the Golden Gun, and he was the primary villain. And he was a bad guy who had a golden gun. And he liked to shoot people. This, ugh. It was not a very popular James Bond. It was actually unpopular because the villain didn't seem that scary. Whoa, look at that, man. That looks crazy, dude. Holy. Man, that looks good. Get that as a 1 of 1. Man, back when Star Wars was really good. All right. There you have it, Andy Dirksen. Thank you so much, Andy. So, Andy, throw that over there. Multiple bags, huh? I can't remember. What did we do with you, Andy? What did we do with you? Did you have a box by chance? No, I remember this. We found your bag and placed it over here, right? Anthony Shime. No. No. Okay, you're not in here. I take it back. Maybe you're in here. Nope. What did we do with you, Andy? We must have given you a box or something. See, that's what my brain was telling me. My brain was saying you're in an unusual location. Unfortunately, we're so full that it makes it really hard to find people sometimes. How do I get XP? Is it random? Alicia's got the membership. I think I have like 5 bags. So if you got like 5 bags, I mean, that's basically a box. There's no way you don't have some kind of box by now. We're looking for an Andy Dirksen box. Yeah, my brain's telling me you're in an odd spot. That's what my brain's telling me. I just don't know where. Oh, maybe you're in this box. Let's see. Could you be in this? Could the whole box be yours? Oh, that's really heavy. Aha! Yes, you're in here. You're in the regular box, but you have a whole regular box for yourself. How strange is that? This whole box is basically just Andy Dirksen, but it's a standard box instead of a personal box. All right. Whew. That took a while. I don't know if you gave me a box. Yeah, that's the confusing part. I never actually gave you a real box. All right. How about another card up on this table? Oh my God, there's the LeChunk. It's pronounced LeChunk. Jumpluff. Wow, just horrible, horrible grades. Let's take a quick look at this Charizard. This would be a card that's probably worth sending in for a second opinion, but let's take a quick look at him. No, in this case, I actually agree with PSA's grade this time. He's thin on the left, so this is really a PSA 9 Charizard. I agree with their grade here. I have 2 bags of just Walking Dead, too. I can't take my ADHD meds and watch this stream. I just want to help organize. Yeah, that would be nice, actually. That'd be nice. What happens is there's such a heavy flow of cards that come into the room and back out of the room that it just naturally becomes very... it's like organized, but it's like sophisticated. It's really hard to keep up with it all. Like Andy's bags, they were in a very logical place to put his bags, but it's like at the same time it's difficult. All right, looks like he's going to be about, well, yeah, so he's going to be about 145. Pity he was off center. There we are. Lovely. How about this loot giveaway? Will W. Lockjaw. Michael. Michael B. Bethel. We're 2 hours in. How? Cody. Okay, Cody H. How are we 2 hours in? That's nuts. Pokeball break. Oh, no, this is the half moon break. Knocked out. Pokemon Center, by the way. Here's a quick drawing. That's a quick drawing break. Nobody's entered that. But, you know, a lot of the breaks haven't really moved too much. Raul Mendoza, Zapdos. Here is Dark Charizard Holographic 8.5. Here is Hello Kitty for PSA 10, $80. And here is Lantern 10 for $60. I bet you that Lantern does not sell. Because it's Lantern. That's why. Beatrice Mondes, can I please get a spot in the Jumbo Slab break, if there is one? Jumbo Slab break? Did you mean the Jumbo Pack break? And apply 40 to my slab away. Okay, 40 to your slab away. Vegas Party. Let's see. I can't keep up with your conversations because I'm working. There you go. Yes, Mister. You said yes, Master. Okay, so we don't have a jumbo pack break. I can save your $40 for the next jumbo pack break, though, if you'd like. Because the truth is, we will be making another one as soon as I run out of orders. So, like, when I run out of orders and there's nothing to do, I tend to put another one together. That's a new thing, Jen, the jumbo pack break. People love it. It's gone off. How many times has it gone off now? Is it 6 times or 7 times? So in the way it works, the jumbo pack break is a really funny thing where I just take random packs from all around me and put them together in a big pile until it reaches like $160 in value, or maybe I do $200 in value, and then the break is 1 in 4 or 1 in 5. That will be fine. All right, so we'll place you right here. I know that you went into the next round of that. Were you guys talking about me wanting to go to Vegas? We are. Here's Pikachu. Vegas, we're really very heavily leaned towards Summerlin, Vegas. That's what we're looking at. Places that could still beat out Vegas, Hawaii. We're really actually thinking about Hawaii. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a serious consideration. Hawaii is. There's also Naples, Florida, if we want to live in the hurricane capital of the world. And then there's, I think that's about it. I don't think anything else is truly being considered. We don't want anywhere too cold. We don't want Wyoming and South Dakota, even though those are optimal. Those are optimal financially. They're cold. There's Alaska. That's also pretty good, but again, very cold. Montana and Delaware. Delaware has no sales tax. Montana has no sales tax. Those can be considered. Montana cold. Delaware, just not excited for Delaware for some reason. Naples, Florida for the pristine beach. Hawaii for the pristine beach. And Summerlin, Las Vegas, Nevada for, they don't have a beach, but they have a lot of good pools. We've researched this because it gets so hot over there. They do a lot of stuff with pools, and they've got Lake Las Vegas, and then they got the Strip, and then they got a lot of food. So it's sort of like living in a busy city with a lot of entertainment options. Also, we like having places to walk. It's one of the things we realized we valued a lot, and Lake of the Ozarks doesn't have a lot of places to walk. And then it's the complete opposite in Las Vegas. There's like a million places to go walking. Send a message on Discord. All right, let me take a quick look. I want both the Zards on the table. So you're saying 3 days from now, you're going to pay both of your... I'm sorry, you're going to pay off your slab away, and then you want to slab away 2 Charizards off the table. The 8.5 and the 9. I could probably reserve those for you. Just be sure, okay? If you change your mind, tell me right away if you change your mind. Okay, there they are. I'm going to set them over here, okay? Unless somebody just bought it, because then it would technically be theirs. Here we have an order from Andrew Hyatt. Okay, Andrew Hyatt. Andrew Hyatt's just telling me he really wants his slab away, and no problem, man. Let's go take a quick look at that. So, I'm going to say... So here's what I'm going to do, because you contacted me, okay? So we're going to move it from February to March. All right, so that was good. Contacting me is a good idea about that. So here's 6. She says Glaceon gym break. Oh, yes, 6 was asking for this to be a gym break. You're going in. Let's play blackjack for Poké Slabs. The truth of the matter is, I do not gamble at all. So I will not go to the casino and spend like even $5 in the casino, most likely. Here it is. Yeah, I have, in my entire life, I've never bought a scratcher ticket. I've never played the lottery. I've never spent money at a casino until like last year. We went to St. Louis, and for the first time, I showed Karis what a casino was like. And we spent like $5 on a slot machine and then lost $5. So that's the most I've ever spent at a casino in my whole life. When we go to Las Vegas, it'll be exactly the same way. Not even $1 will go to the casino. However, we do like food, and we like other forms of entertainment, like shows and stuff like that. So we'll probably do something like that. But most importantly, we want places to go walking. We also really do want places to go swimming. We both enjoy swimming. So swimming and walking. Health. 5, try 200. Oh, mister. Oh, you will, mister, for the buffets. Yeah, well, not just buffets. You know, one of the problems with living in a place that's kind of like a food desert is there are food options, but the food options are like McDonald's and Taco Bell, which are not especially healthy. I'm ready to pay a more premium amount of money for like a higher class food that's healthy for you. So like, I don't know, maybe like even just some basic sushi options or something like that, you know, like a tuna roll. Tuna roll is going to be better for you than whatever they put in the McDonald's. We don't have those options in Lake of the Ozarks. There's just not options like that. And yeah, I want some healthy food options, and there's just very few options at all. And I assume a large city would have some of that, especially if it's a more prestigious kind of neighborhood. Sometimes if you stay at hotels, they sometimes will give you free money to try gambling. I mean, we could try it, but I'm actually very good. My brain's like, it's like a rock or something. There's absolutely no possible way to get me to gamble. And that's because it's already done the math on it and said there's no point to this. It's like it sees it for what it is too well. Here we are. Jennifer, yep. One spot in the Destin rival break, and please help Tam Tam price the LeTonk. She's waiting. All right, you got it. One spot in the Destin's rival. Okay, here's Miss Jen. Well, I did check a chunk of cards on the right side. Why don't we check another chunk? Oh, this will go over here. I'm very good at not gambling. Those like slot, you know, I could see myself playing poker for fun with friends, but like not like as a hobby, not as like a, but maybe with like actual friends, just to socialize. So I could see myself playing poker. Oh, there's that Pikachu again. Look at that friggin' Pikachu, dude. He's awesome. I like that one a lot. I love sushi too. Sometimes if you stay at hotels, I already read that. Ugh. Okay. Wait, I want to see this. What's the profit? No, I don't want to look it up. I don't care. I want to know what kind of cut the casino makes on its slot machines. It's a really bizarre product. It is. The slot machines are such a bizarre product. Okay, I know it's not in this pile now. I know it's not in here. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be right next to us. Wouldn't that be nice? So that I wouldn't have to go through all the slabs. Ugh. Well, I know where it's not. Nah, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more piles to go through. I have not found it. I just went through a big pile here. There we are. I know where it's not, though, so I won't dig through these piles anymore. I'll dig through another pile when we're pricing. We'll find it. We'll find that little chunk. We'll just reserve it for Tammy. Here it is. Slots are lame. Table games are where it's at. I'd probably play poker with friends. With, you know, like imagine you played poker and there was no, like, house taking any kind of cut. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a game where you bet your own money. That's not bad. That's probably the closest I'd ever come to gambling. Just a game of poker or something. Here we are. Play Poké with actual vintage Pokemon cards. I'd be down for that. Maybe we could put them into deck sleeves so that they remain somewhat okay. So we'll load up a deck sleeves and we'll play with the deck sleeves. That'd be cool. No, people bend those cards like crazy. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Not with the vintage pack. I'd rather give $500 out to the table than ruin a $500 or whatever it costs, $1,000 round of Pokemon cards. No, it's a funny idea though. It really is. Ready? So there's a PSA 10 Pikachu old maid. I like these old maid Pikachus a lot. Okay. He's really pretty affordable, this Pikachu. I feel like you should consider grabbing him because he's affordable right now, and over time, he might really go up in price. Like, why is he so affordable? Well, he's only from 2023. That's a $30 Pikachu. I'd snatch it. That's way too low. That card can go to 60 so fast. A card like that could move up to 60 in the blink of an eye. That one's one that I would say, yeah, that's a high-quality, low-cost card. All right, so Pikachu Collection. Let's see. We typed in Pikachu Collection. Did that work? It did not work. So we're going to type in Pikachu Classic. Did that work? Sort of. Pikachu Classic Japanese. I actually think the Japanese version of the Classic Collection looks better than the English. That's why I decided to stock up on the Japanese version, not the English version. All right. I really like this Pikachu. What's the population on this card? This might be a hold. Oops. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. Okay, good. 640 now. Ooh. He's not super rare. That's the problem. He's not very rare. So a lot of these have been graded. Think about it for a minute. I'm going to save this guy for a gym break. Okay. I'll set this here. 100% Japanese is better. So what's going on with this card? This card would be very, very expensive if only it wasn't like so many of them. So it's obvious they printed a lot of these. He had a population of 4,000. Of course, we learned from Sword and Shield, population doesn't always matter. What is this music? Alicia Brown's back. She says, fossil sublist, and the rest is for shipping. You got it, Miss Alicia. Here you are. 4 and 5. So the fossil sublist is up to 5 spots total. And let's print you a label. So if I recall, you have a lot of stuff. Okay. I don't know what we're listening to, guys. Nice card to look at and hold. It's so good looking. It's a crazy good looking card. Aren't the old made decks still cheap? The old made decks are cheap, but remember, most of the cards in the deck won't be as valuable as Pikachu. Pikachu holds a lot of the value of those decks. Second of all, you are paying for me having already graded for you this card and taking the risk of the 9s out. So if you sent off some Pikachus, imagine you graded 2 Pikachus and they both got 9s. So now you've got a deck that you purchased where you pulled PSA 9 Pikachus out and you paid for PSA 9 grading. So $30, I mean, it's almost too low. It doesn't make sense. This should probably be like $40. The fact that it's $30 means that it's still at a really good price, and this will rise. That's my perspective on it. You don't have to agree, of course, but, you know, sometimes I share my perspective on a slab on the table, like, oh, that one's too good. That also tells me that I should increase the number of Pikachus I'm grading for you guys, because this is good for both of us. I make a little bit of money here, and you're sitting on a slab that I predict would go up in price. So 5 years from now, you come back to me, you say, remember that Pikachu from 2023, and now it's, you know, today is 2030? I was like, yeah, I remember that. Did you know that card went to like $100? I'll be like, oh, good. And then you guys, you know, you say, oh, thank you for selling it to me. Right? So I think that way. I think, what card am I selling to people? Is that card going to go up for them? Because a year or two from now, you're going to decide if these cards you bought from me were good for you or not. In general, if they were good for you, you like me more. Just wondering, I picked up 2 decks and 20 for each a little while ago. No, it's good. You should sit on those decks. Yeah. But we don't know how many were printed, but it's not infinite. Yeah, it's not infinite. Like, what's the population on this guy? So the classic Pikachu was 4,400 or something like that, right? Let's see what super high tension Pikachu's at. I bet he's at like 2,000. Nope. Super high tension, 406. Not bad. See? But he's not part of the TCG. The other Pikachu is part of the TCG. So, well, not really, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's a reminder of the old classic Pikachu. So, but this is kind of like an odd thing, sort of like Topps Pokemon, maybe Poker Pokemon, right? It's exactly like Poker Pokemon. But, you know, give this 20 years and it's really old by then, and we don't know how many are printed. But it'll be some number. He's a niche thing. We call it niche. He's specialty. Unexpected. Dylan Chan, he's back with 2 more boxes of Magical Girls. You got it, Dylan Chan. Let me go grab those. Thank you for waiting. Dylan Chan's turn, everybody. All right, guys, I got to wrap up soon. I got to be able to go out and go walking. It's going to get dark. The sky's kind of cloudy as it is. A 644. Neo Premium Follows Art. I bought from you in a CGC Gold label. Kind of went down in price, unfortunately. Just one of those things, I guess. They do that. They do fluctuate, especially because prices were so high just a little while ago during sort of like the prismatic time period. But prices do go up and down. And the trick is to not get scared, because that's what a lot of people did when the prices fell really bad. They got scared and they sold. There. All right. Pokemon card prices work like a lot of other, asset classes where people feel like the prices are too high. They don't want it anymore. They want to have cash. They want to have a new home. They want to have a new car. They want to have retirement, whatever it is. They got a hospital bill. Life moves on. They get bored of it. They got a new girlfriend. She doesn't approve of the card grading or whatever. So a lot of things happen and prices go up and prices go down. Like there's a point where people look at the price of the Pokemon cards and feel like that's insane. There's no way that that's real. I'm not buying at that price. And then they stomp their foot and they go, I'll never buy at that price. And prices fall for a little while. And then years later, prices start to rise again. And people go, oh my gosh, Pokemon cards are on the rise. What? They're on the rise? Quick, buy a bunch of them. See what I'm saying? Overall, though, society just keeps earning money. So, a year goes by and everybody's earned $40, $50, $60, $70,000 again. And that money goes somewhere. And it just keeps pumping up the price of the cards. That money doesn't strictly get consumed by things like food. They get pumped into objects like gold. And Pokemon cards have had that trajectory for a while now. There we are. All right. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Ooh, magical girl. Diamond hands, baby. Holding till I'm dead. No. When it comes to cardboard, you got to say cardboard hands or paper hands. Which is the opposite of what they say with crypto, right? Paper hands, diamond hands. But no, it is accurate. Anything you buy that's super speculative, hyper risky, people are going to lose faith. They're going to not have the guts, and then they're going to sell out of it. And if you're someone who believes in the basic ideas of it, then you'll hold on to it even when it's looking bad. And when it's looking bad, you'll just keep working and buying more of it. And, there's a variety of elements that make Pokemon cards look like a good thing to be holding on to. Besides the fact that when you look, I guess I can kind of spiel my way through it. Like, think about the baseball sports cards, right? Sports cards have been around for multiple generations, and those are still going up in price, even while competing with Pokemon cards. So you got like the sports cards prove that there's a real industry for providing card services to people who love to collect cards. And that industry always has a demand and a need for more cards. And certain cards that are especially beloved or like especially good artworks, those just keep rotating. And the other thing I'd say is the major driving force behind it all is social media. Social media is a new thing, right? Social media is making collecting very important, not just for Pokemon cards, but for a lot of things. And so, whether you collect Pokemon or whether you collect Digimon, there's a group out there who loves that brand, and they always want to see your collection. And so you have this sort of demand for people that want to show their collection off online. And that ties into another really important idea. When you show your collection off on the internet, you get attention. Attention's very valuable. We live in this sort of new time period where if you get the attention, you get to sell ads, you get to sell products, you get to share ideas, and people just enjoy having attention for its own sake too, right? Anyways, so having the right Pokemon cards gives you all that. You get the ad revenue. PokeRev, he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire because he just has Pokemon cards. That's it. Pokemon cards made him a millionaire. He wasn't really doing anything else in particular. Like, he wasn't doing backflips. He wasn't doing singing and music. He became a millionaire because he had the right Pokemon cards. He opened Pokemon cards for entertainment. That's probably not going away. Someday you'll have like black and white booster boxes will reach $20,000 and people will be opening those and people will be watching them get open because they'll say, these are $20,000 cards or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And bring that back. So, booster boxes will continue to have value. The only reason people watch booster boxes is because they love to see the chase cards come out, right? So those chase cards, whether they're encapsulated or not, those will keep having value. It's just how it is. So people just enjoy the fun of it. It is. And, you know, so there'll be this industry for making ad revenue on the Pokemon cards. What could really happen over time, though, Pokemon could be dethroned. Who's going to dethrone them? Digimon? But you never know. Maybe something. The Pokemon company itself is doing very well. They have record sales on their video games. They're just doing very well. That means, you know, in 20 years, all the people who loved Pokemon from 1999, they're still buying. But also, you've got layer after layer of young person who... What am I looking at? You got layer after layer of young people who played the different Pokemon games, and they fold into the hobby too. The cycle, I don't think the cycle is about to end. So it's your faith in the idea of human nature. Will humans want to keep doing this? Will humans continue to be addicted to opening up booster packs and collecting things? And as long as that's true, I personally feel that we're at the beginning of the Pokemon card market, not at the end of a mature market. This is the beginning of the market where lots and lots and lots of young people haven't even reached that age of like 35 years old, where they can reach like full income maturity and express their nostalgia for their old childhood experiences. Here it is. I sent for the battle. Sounds good. So that's it. That's why Pokemon cards continue to be a big hold for me, and I don't really shake very easily when I see prices dip. Instead, I go, ooh, maybe now's the time to make a purchase. And some of my best purchases were made before the big explosion. Like, for example, there was a guy, he was really trying to talk me down on my Sandstorm Umbreon. You guys saw that one. I just bought that one, right? Reverse Hollow Sandstorm Umbreon. It was like $800. And one just sold for $2,700. And I was talking, you know, I was saying some crazy stuff like, oh, it's going to go to $15,000 one day. But, you know, it's already gone from $800 to $2,700. It's not that hard to imagine it going from that to maybe like $4,000 one day. You know, it's a Pop 25 Umbreon from a mainline set. Here it is. And I think sometimes when I say stuff like that, people think it's crazy, but it's like weird. Not only is it not crazy anymore, I've seen it happen multiple times already. I've seen it happen over and over again. And so I don't really need anyone's opinion anymore because I've got it's sort of like a brain full of Pokemon history, and I know what happens over time. Is this box actually full? Oh, Dennis Chanavon can come out. All right, you got Mr. Dylan. You are one big customer, man. This box is nearly 100% full. Metazoo, trust. Now, see, I don't know about Metazoo because I don't think young people will have the same nostalgia for it. But, you know, everything starts somewhere. So maybe this is the beginning of Metazoo. Metazoo, they need like a long time period for the kids who are into Metazoo to get nostalgic for it. Like Zoo, what do they call that? Spyro, Zoolander? No. What Zoolander's that movie? What was the name of that stupid Spyro game where you had the little figurines? Here. Excuse me. Skylanders. They were called Skylanders. There we go. My brain was trying to mix two words together. Metazoo and Skylander. Bakugan, Skylanders. Yeah, so, you know, there's probably some adults collecting those because they were very nostalgic for it from when they were young and they played that video game. And there'll probably be some kids that are now nostalgic for Metazoo, but the question is, how big will that be? And it might not be that big, but it might be that there's still a market for it. You know, like it might not be impossibly small either. Should I grade XY evolutions, even with PSA having stricter grading now? I have a blank ton of evolution chase cards, ungraded, I pulled years ago. I'm just sitting on them. If they're going to grade 9, I would not bother. If they're going to grade 9, I would look for 10s. Do a strong pre-grade on them. I would look for 10s. All right, thank you, Dylan Chan. No more orders, guys. Let's just see this real fast. We have an Ivan Rodriguez Zard holding fee. Ivan Rodriguez. Oh, I'll tell you what. Let's just put this up into slab away for you. You're so funny, dude. Okay. That's exactly what slab away is. It's just paying a little holding fee, isn't it? All right, I'll let you slab these away early. You buy a lot of slabs, so why not? So you're going to have this one right here. It's going to say June 25, Ivan Rodriguez. 2 Zards. And together they cost 400, 505. I think they cost 505 together. 505. All right. So that's 505. Now we'll do that for you. We'll set this up here for now. But yeah, we'll just do that this one time. It's so funny. Hunter Schafer is reportedly being eyed. I saw that. Yeah, she looks like Zelda a lot. Very sexy. Here's Nazgul. Ooh, where's that one guy who likes the Lord of the Rings cards? This one's really nice. That's an 8 and it's holographic. He just came in here. Is he still here? We've got one Gundam card left other than the super pricey holographic ones. You think those are overpriced? I just don't have anything to base them off of. They're all pop 1. Okay, now we have Mr. Omar, Glaceon, Gym Break versus 6. There it is. Wow, she looks like Zelda. The real question, who plays Link? And how do they make this game and not have it be super cringeworthy? Is it that even possible? Mr. Omar. Do you not have... I thought you had a card. Well, Flame's got one. All right. First battle. Oh, first battle, huh? All right. Welcome. For some reason, I just assumed you'd been in a lot. Do you have the Magic the Gathering Secret Flare Packs? I have some SpongeBob ones. There we are. So weird how it wants to stick like that. All right, good luck to 6. Good luck to Mr. Omar. 6 is looking to get closer to breaking even again. There we are. I need that Pout Gengar emoji here. There we are. I can put you in charge of emojis. Not in charge, but let's say give you access to them, Tammy. You know, Tammy, you're here really consistently. I'm scared for you, 6. Yeah. You either come back by 1 or you go deeper by 1. All right. Okay, so we've got Charizard. Pretty good start. You can't be beaten by the computer search with Charizard. Chansey, yeah, that's a good one too, but Charizard wins. That's crazy. Can you see that? All right, Charizard wins. Pikachu, 50 HP. It's a bit of a weaker one. Oh, this is better. I like it when it's not blurred. Oh, you still win. He pulls Mankey. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Mr. Omar. So now you know, Mr. Omar, that is a battle. Pokemon Gym Break, I should say. And, wow. How much are the SpongeBob Flare Packs? Those aren't for sale. Those are going to be graded. We are. That was pretty easy this time, Miss 6. All right. And you get one down here. The little scorecard helps you understand how well you've done over time. A lot of people are just kind of like in a break-even kind of scenario. Maybe up a few, maybe down a few. Some people get really unlucky and they go really negative. They have it 6. I threw for 6. It was intentional. Oh, that's so sweet. You hear that, 6? He was intending for you to win. It was all on purpose. All right, guys, we're all done. It's 7 p.m., so it's really quite late, and I'm all out of time. See you later, everybody. I'm hopping on. Oh, wait. How about we hand this out? Who's the leader? Where'd it go? There it is. Who's the leader? Who's got number 1? Alex, you're number 1? All right, Alex, number 1. Ready? Landing on 3. 3 is who? Lockjaw? Lockjaw's got it. I'm crying for LeChonk. You know what? I bet we find it tonight, Tammy. I bet we find it tonight because I know where he's not after we did that sort. And so I know where he's not now. And we'll be able to sort through more of those slabs. And I bet you we find a cute little LeChonk. All right. $10 on Omar. So Lockjaw Jones pulls MC's Hype. There we have it. Leave this. And now, if I don't go, I'm not going to get a chance to go. I don't know who Lockjaw is. Does he have a bag? There it is. Thank you, everyone. See you tonight for the late night stream. Don't miss it. The Friday late night stream starts real late at 1 a.m. for me. That's kind of like 11:30 p.m.-ish, 12 a.m. for California. That's what it's going to be. See you later, everybody.